Welcome to the live replay of the final race in the 2024 Spartan Mexican National Series. My name is Jason Dupree, and I have with me once again Miles Keller. Miles, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks. I'm excited to be here every time. I love doing this with you, Jason. Can't think of a better way to start the day. Talking OCR with the OCR family.
That's right. We've got a good race ahead today. It is a beast that was at, you could probably help me pronounce this, Heroico Colegio Militar?
Heroico Colegio Militar.
Heroico, okay.
The heroic military college. It's a military college. Heroico
so this
heroic.
I was on site this past weekend, and the venue was very cool, very unique, very different from what we typically get where we're at like ski resorts or out in the woods. Now this course has some woods, and that's another cool thing about it is that you've got this big military college, so there's lots of concrete and big bunkers and all kinds of roads and stuff everywhere, but there is still a lot of vegetation and other stuff, trails for them to run through. It's a really cool place.
Well, and it's still 14 miles, right? It must be a massive complex to be able to get 14 miles out of this. Now, you did the course. How long of mileage did you get doing the course?
Well, I didn't run the full course myself. I went out to do some scouting first and just kind of like picked apart where I wanted to cut course to try to stay with the athletes. And during the race, there was just a lot of all over the place. You'll see that I jump on, a couple of us jump on some scooters with the staff there, and we just fly all over the place, up and down these roads. And so you kind of start, and actually it's a good place to go with it, looking at the map of the course. All right, so this is in Mexico City, CDMX, just right outside, about an hour from the airport.
It seems like so far that all three races in the Mexican National Series, Jason, they've been fairly close to Mexico City, right? Like maybe an hour, 2 hours, east, west, south.
That's right.
Is that representative?
Yes, Puebla was about an hour, about 2 hours east, and then Valle de Bravo was about 2 hours west.
I'm excited to see this race. This is the third in the series leading up to it. We'll see who takes the lead, who takes away with the win overall in the series. Here we see.
Yeah, so let's look real. Right, so the starting area right in the middle of the complex goes out into the woods, and you can see how they go out into these dense forest areas. And there's lots of little roads throughout these areas. But you have these, the red here is everything is part of the Beast course, except for the purple that you're going to see on this map, because there was an ultra on Saturday, and the Beast happened on Sunday. But they also had a sprint, it was a trifecta weekend, so they had a sprint and a super as well. So everything we see here is the Beast course except for the purple. And so they get these like kind of out and back loops that they go on, and then they come back in, go back out again. So they hit the little intersection there, head back on down, and just looking at some of the. Go ahead, Miles. What you got?
Now, a question for you: how is the elevation looking? From the pictures I've seen and the video I've seen from it so far, it looks fairly flat. But
yes, looking at the elevation there on the screen, you can see it starts at 2,300, about 2,300 meters, and then go on the top end is 2,478, and feet wise, we're looking at somewhere around. I honestly can't even remember if I looked at my watch, but somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000 feet is what it is around Mexico City. So you see these big mountains out in the distance, but it really isn't it's not, there's no giant climbs. There's a few small climbs, but there's nothing big. All right, so we've got.
Whereas you and me may call them Texas mountains, right? There's some big hills, so we call Texas mountains.
Yeah. So they've got a few different walls, hurdles, over, under, through. And then we've got monkey bars, atlas carry, bucket carry, plate drag, and here we're on 13 which is the pistol. I actually didn't get out to that part myself, so I didn't even see it. So we'll find out. I'll find out with you guys what happened there. Barbed wire crawl, Tyrolean traverse, and then moving on, coming back into the main, the where the festival area is, running past all that stuff. You can see this track-looking spot, and they've got all these facilities here. You can see like a soccer field next to it. Very, very nice facilities that they've got in this area. There's even a horse complex, equestrian stables and everything. So once they go past that, head down this road and get back into some woods, and then again, you've got some of these just like out and back loops. Obstacle-wise, we're at the inverted wall, and then this long like back and forth kind of thing, where they get to a 8-foot wall, stairway to Sparta, and then heading down, and you hit a balance beam, which is one we don't see a ton in U.S. Spartan. Sometimes, actually, I was at Europe's Toughest Mudder, the weekend before, and they had that. They had basically, the Spartan style balance beam at Europe's Toughest Mudder.
So I've noticed this, Jason. It seems like that balance beam is a staple everywhere else in the world but in America. So while
well,
it's
the same one that
us,
we've seen. Yeah, we've seen it in stadium races a lot.
Yeah, and that's about the extent of it. But it seems like it's been a staple all over the world, not just Europe. I saw it in Greece. I've seen it now in these races. We just seen it everywhere. It makes sense. It seems like it would be a staple of OCR when we think about what we would define the staples of being something like a barbed wire crawl, a rope climb, a wall to climb over. These are things you're going to see in every race, right? Balance beam just kind of makes sense. I'm really interested to see that the difference in the barbed wire. There's 2 barbed wire crawls fairly close, depending on how muddy it is or how messy it is. Number 11 is the Z wall. So after that first barbed wire crawl, they're going to come into that Z wall. They're going to have to keep their palms up, keep their hands from getting too muddy, because while Z wall is not really a difficult obstacle per se, if you've been in the mud and your hands get dirty or slippery or what, who knows what you're rolling through, it could really make the Z wall difficult, and that leads right into a sandbag. And then there's another barbed wire crawl not too much further along. And what's interesting is I'd be curious to see, I really want to see how long these barbed wire crawls are, because Spartan is known for having some really brutal, sometimes very long barbed wire crawls. So I can't wait to see that.
I can't speak for the second one, but I know the first one isn't crazy long. And really, it was a dry day, pretty dry course. There are some spots where, since there was the ultra the day before, that the course is pretty tore up. But really, I wouldn't call it much. There's not much mud. There's a little bit.
It's just kind of dry, torn up, a lot of shrubs, but not wet and muddy. Is that right?
And so and obstacle 22 here is a balance slack line. So here is just like, you think of they take those tie down straps and stretch them across something, kind of like we used to see at Conquer the Gauntlet.
Yep.
So that's pretty unique as well for what we typically see. And then this long run down this back road against the fence, and then you can see that little square where 23 is. That is a baseball field that they go into and come out of, and then go around the back side of it. Really cool. Made for some really good shots.
Yeah, and then once they get back in, a lot of running there, a lot of straightaways. Right. I wonder how that'll play in the strategy, especially the top 3 males keeping each other in sight. It's hard to break line of sight when you have such a long stretch, and sometimes just seeing that guy in front of you might give you just that extra edge you need to try and push a little harder and catch him. And maybe you thought he was further away than he really was, and now you get that second breath of air, right? And you're like, oh, I can push. I still might be able to catch him. So we'll see how those long straightaways of running play into it.
Yeah. And then you can see this last segment going back into the festival area, into the finish. This is all concrete here. And so this is a spot, even though it's at the very end of the race, they really open up coming down into the festival area here.
But what a gauntlet of obstacles! That is 7 obstacles back to back. Almost 8 obstacles back to back. Hey, you hear the music from the festival area. You're pumped up. You're tired. This is a long race. It's a beast. So it gives you that little extra. But wow, 7 obstacles, almost 8 back to back. Let's see who has the most gas in the tank at the end. Am I right?
Yeah, and these are some obstacles that have penalty loops, and I think overall, I think the penalty loops didn't really impress me, but there is one of them that is pretty cool that you'll see at the end.
Okay, I can't wait. Yeah, overall, this is just going to be an exciting race, the third in the Mexican National Series. We'll see who takes the overall win for the whole series finally today. The whole culmination of the Mexican National Series has been leading up to this, and I can't wait to see
And
what it escalates to.
yeah, so before we jump into the race, let's look at real quick the series standings going into the final race. The standings aren't full because of the announcement that Spartan made a few weeks back that all 3 races are mandatory to be part of the series. Now, the people racing this race this race here, they're still all in contention for the prize purse for this particular race, but not all of them are in contention for the prize purse for the series itself. So taking a look at the series standings for the guys going into this race. So
Wow.
after only 2 races.
Wow.
You got a
They're all
3-way
tied for
tie.
points. Right.
3-way
And
tie
these are
for first.
all 3 of these guys are our normal top 3 contenders and have been since the first race. Plus, they're well known as the threat in the elite field in Mexico, right? So I'm not sure if 4th, 5th, or 6th it could even numerically podium at this point, depending on unless something horrible happens and none of these gentlemen place like they normally place. But Angel Quintero, Ciro Perez, and Eugenio Godinez, these are the guys we're really going to be focusing on. I think they're in contention and watch them battle it out. They're used to battling each other out. And you know what, Jason, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't think making all 3 races mandatory is crazy. It's not that far away from the most populated city in Mexico City, right? And what's interesting, you contrast that with the U.S. National Series, what's been going on now, and you see there's tons of people that have placed in the National Series that just show up. There's tons of people that didn't make the mandatory races in the U.S. National Series, and so you contrast this to Mexico, and it's a start of an interesting conversation, right?
Right. And the talks that have been going around are maybe there should be a regional series within the U.S. so that you have a West Coast and an East Coast possibly. And one of the biggest troubles here was just the miscommunication about the fact that you needed to have all 3 races until it was so late into the season. Obviously, if it would have been from the start, then there would be no reason to complain because people would have known. But unfortunately, there was just miscommunication there.
And you're right. That's just good communication, setting out expectations beforehand, being clear, concise, transparent about expectations before the series starts, so everyone knows the rules. Changing anything up in the middle of it is always going to throw a wrench in the gears. So,
Yeah.
but it was interesting to see the results you posted earlier. But here we're seeing the top women that are going to be watching. They've been following the series.
So only 3 that were at the first 2, both of the first and the second race. Now, today we're going to see that Dulce is the only one that made this race. So you can guess right away who gets first place in the women's series.
Gee, spoiler alert, Jason. Ruining the surprise.
She's there. The other 2 ladies aren't. So,
Well, I mean, it's also important to remember, hey, not many people in the sport are getting paid to do this for a living. These ladies have family obligations, full-time jobs. Who knows? Everyone's got problems in life too on top of that. So who knows, what's going on. I'm sure those other ladies would love Laura Mirabel and Eloisa. I'm sure they would love to be there. They want to throw down. They love the sport. They've been doing it for a long time. But, man, sometimes life takes priority. But,
For sure.
We'll see
And
how.
Eloisa is the one. She's the one that I was really surprised by, because her and Dulce have some good fights in those other races.
Yeah. I believe in Eloisa a whole lot, man. She's an amazing athlete. I'm not surprised. She's the sister of the other Godinez, Eugenio. So it's
Yeah,
just like, when people of like minds get together, it's the same way. And you and me are hanging out, right? We're talking OCR. We both love it. And even if you never did a race, I'd be talking to you about it, and you'd be like, "Oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I want to get into it." And so it's not a surprise, but
that's right.
amazing athletes. It's been a fantastic following the series.
All right, you ready to watch this race?
Let's do it. A beautiful country
Okay,
too. Wonderful people.
here we go. Jumping over to the race. All right, so we're here at the start line, looking at what's going on here. You've got all these mascots. I love what they did here. There's me. Look at these guys.
Wow, they got mascots. That is cool. Okay.
The Spartan mascot,
Hey,
Army mascots.
we don't get that in the other countries. I like that.
Now, one thing you're going to notice on the start line here is there are a lot of guys. And while I think they kind of did it different in each race. There's the guy with the polo. Remember him? From Bahia Bravo?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, he's right. He's not changing it up. He goes, "I got a strategy. This is how I've been training. This is how I'm going to stick with it." He's coming with.
That's right.
He's either going to a job interview or he's going to win this race. We'll see.
So in the, I can't remember which. Maybe they did it the same in all the races where they actually ran the pros and the first wave age groupers, and in this case, all the age groupers at the same time, so that the women. Or so that the faster age groupers wouldn't have to contend with the slower women. And really, pro-wise, there's only a handful. Yep, Ciro in the front.
I don't see Eugenio. And
yeah, I'm not sure where he gets on the start line. They get in there at some point, but you remember at Valle Bravo, they did the same thing. Angel was in the back for till right in the last second.
Maybe that helps calm them down more, not being right there in the front. Because, look, it's a beast. It's going to be at least 14 miles. Getting fast off the start right here, not going to make a difference. Not to mention Eugenio, Angel Quintero, and Ciro, they know their bodies, they know their speed so well that it's not going to make that big of a difference right off. They know this is a beast. They know it's going to be a long race.
So I did leave a little bit here. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if pretty sure we get to see them perform their national anthem, which is pretty cool because they actually had that band, the army band, the military band, right there, as you can see on the left.
That's pretty cool. Usually sometimes at the U.S. races, we just got someone who's good at singing. We'll do the national anthem. That's it, playing over a CD. They got a whole band. Mexico came to play.
Mm-hmm.
Come for a race, stay for the concert, man. That's pretty cool. That'll get you hyped up at the start line.
Yeah, you could hear especially their drum line. You could hear it pretty much all throughout the day.
Oh wow! So they kept it going through the whole race all day long.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah, hombre is first.
Oh, it looks pretty hot outside. I mean, we're in the middle of summer, but how hot was it outside?
Yes. So it was only about 60 degrees at the start, but as you can see, it is quite sunny, and yeah, it gets pretty warm pretty quick.
Yeah, 60. It's a fantastic starting temperature.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't ask for
it
better
goes up
weather than that.
fast. If it would only stay that temperature, it definitely, Vita Bravo, they had like 55 to 65. It was awesome.
And what's interesting too is usually the starts are never starting on the concrete, on pavement of any kind. It's usually always started in the grass. And this time, no. I bet that'll. I hope nobody gets out too fast and stumbles and really hurts themselves right out of the bat.
Right.
Signo patria tu eres oliva, de la paz el arcángel divino, en el cielo tu eterno destino, por el dedo de Dios se escribió, mas osare un extraño, profanar con su canto fechero, esa patria americana del cielo,
That's 15 people singing at the same time in synchronicity.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to witness. Check out the background. See those mountains behind there?
Yeah, beautiful. All of the races have been, Mexico is a beautiful country with even more beautiful people. What a great experience to be able to have this. Very so full of pride. They are very, very prideful. They love their country. They're so warm and loving when you come visit them too.
Oh man, the hospitality that I've received from them has been just phenomenal.
Yeah, next level. I'm sure you've gotten all the best food too. I'm so jealous of you getting all the best.
Oh
Mexican
my
food.
Goodness, dude,
you ain't getting it here.
Can't even begin to explain. Like the smallest joints have some of the best food. Like random places on the side of the street.
Oh, those are probably some of the best taco spots on the side.
Yeah. So here's Eduardo.
Oh, yeah, there he is. I want to know why we don't have an OCR report mascot. You know what I mean? I'm looking at these mascots. Why don't we got one for the OCR report? Slacking.
Figure out what that would look like.
I'm filing a complaint.
Eduardo here, he commentated last race, Vita Bravo. He is one of the main guys that run the Spartan Mexico. They do all sorts of other races too. The company called As Deporte is the one that has the license for Spartan Mexico, and they put on. Look at the that one mascot with the that's like poking his head out. He was with the best one. He was so colorful.
Yeah, and recognizing a lot of the same faces. I think a lot of these guys were at that last race.
Yeah, that's right.
And really interesting, Jason, I wonder how many water spots are. You notice none of these gentlemen are carrying water anywhere on them, like any fluid.
You're right, and Spartan has been really good about putting at least one per mile, at least in the U.S. And I haven't counted with Mexico, so I can't say for certain, but I feel like it's pretty similar.
And I'm sure they could have fueling in their pockets, right? But if we're a beast, it's always good advice to, make sure you have a hydration strategy, because fighting off cramps, long race should always be a part of your strategy. Wow, what a start. There. You hear that energy. He brought it.
Yeah. Dude, if you can see this, look at the smoke. Just missed it. There was smoke coming off from the side there. Oh, wrong camera. There we go. Set her right out in front. So this race, interestingly, we had only 4 rabbits, myself, 2 guys that were like elite marathon level runners, and then one guy that stayed in the festival area, and these two guys that stayed with the front runners, they were awesome. I mean, they were quick. The camera doesn't have any sound.
Well, it's a good
So we're
time
going to see a lot.
Everyone. It's a good time to remind everyone of the Patreon. So make sure and like and subscribe this. Help support the OCR report so we can bring more rabbits and more coverage and have the technology fly people more and have those logistic capabilities in order to bring even more coverage of every corner of the race. So make sure to support the OCR report, support our sport.
Thanks for that, Miles. As you can see, these guys jumped up. They had to jump up on over a wall, and they had a little barrier that they kind of jumped on first. And now our rabbit, because of that having to get up there, has gotten behind, and you know, you can see he's starting to catch up with these guys already. Now these guys are going to get out a little ways before we see the women take off, but I will put them.
Yeah, it's really smart space. They're giving the women plenty of space. They're giving plenty of time for the guys because of this long stretch of running right in the up front to space out the men from the women.
There's Dulce right in the front. She's the one to watch. And a few spots over is Barbara from Valle de Bravo. Remember her?
Now, do we know, Jason? You have. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I mean,
no, I was trying to point out where she's at. I think that's her right behind the. Can't quite see her.
The eagle.
Yeah, that's her right behind the eagle, in the black top and long pants.
I was going to ask Jason, do you have to be a Mexican citizen to participate in this national series?
I don't believe so. I don't think that's. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, you race the races, you can do it. I don't think there's any requirements in that regard.
Do you think other people are going to see? Maybe there's some other women out there. They're like, hey, I have a chance of doing really well. There's obviously not many contenders in the females field here in the Mexican National Series. Maybe I'll come to Mexico next year and compete.
Yeah,
I wonder if
if they had if they want to fly out, absolutely.
Put some more pressure on Dulce. She's gonna have to hold the fort.
That's right. All right, so out in front here. Yep.
He always likes those. You can always notice him because of the armbands. He always wears the armbands.
Yeah, those sleeves, arm sleeves.
Sleeves, yeah. Excuse me, sleeves. Thank you. And they look different this time. I'm not sure what quite he had. He has something hanging on the side of it.
Well, he does have. You could see the Spartan Pro band, that red band that he has. Oh yeah, there is something on there. Not quite sure.
And it looks like there's another gentleman in the mix that's not usually in the mix with Ciro, Angel, and Eugenio.
That's right.
Can't quite tell.
Pretty sure that's Ciro up in front.
That's definitely Ciro in the front.
I haven't watched all this footage yet, so I can't speak for. I know I've watched some of it, and I think maybe he was zoomed in here, and then maybe he probably remembers to zoom out at some point. Hopefully, I know towards the end of the race, which I watched, he definitely did. I'm not sure when.
Little climb up some undulating terrain there.
Yep.
Was this you handling the mic? The camera?
No, I'm at the start line with the women.
Okay. Man, they're getting great pictures. Have you noticed how many photographers there are?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole point of contention and controversy within the sport too. Is which race brands are going to charge and not charge for, and the availability of the photographers. Everyone likes the pictures from their races. It seems like they have a lot of photographers.
I think this is one of bigger climbs on the course. This first climb.
Yeah, like
it's
you
not
said,
a steep uphill.
But like you said, the rabbit, you know, he's a marathoner. This guy, he's fit. He's keeping up with these guys, and even then, these guys are moving good. You can hear him breathing heavy,
I know.
and you could tell it. And you could tell at the side of the shot right there that this is a hill that is increasing in elevation. And look at these guys.
You can even kind of
plugging
tell
away at it.
right in their stride. They're kind of a little more choppy.
Yeah,
But that's Angel with the back tattoo.
It's always beneficial, right? Use your arm swing to help drive up your legs. There is a direct correlation between your right arm and your left leg, left arm and right leg, and using your arms, pumping them to help drive yourself up those hill climbs. Yeah, and now it looks like we're going down. Just going to let gravity do its thing. And look at Ciro is
Eugenio and Angel. That's right. Angel's just hanging right on the heels of Eugenio.
Normally, those three guys are a little closer. I want to say, I hope I'm not wrong on this, but I think Eugenio was leading the last race out the gate, and now Ciro is just holding a strong lead.
Yeah, he
definitely
really
within
is.
Striking distance, though, right?
But he's pushing early. Still a long race to go.
Yeah, still so much to pavement. It's going to let them run a lot faster than if they were in the grass or the mud. You see the women there in the corner. They're about to go.
Yeah, they're going to be taking off in just a moment.
Look how happy the women are. Look at the beautiful smiles on their faces at the start line. That's not how the guys look. That's that we're all so nervous at the start line. None of the guys are smiling. Like maybe 1, 2 guys, but like all of these women, they're just smiles ear to ear.
Yeah, the women do always seem to be more cheery than men are just ready to rock. All right, so we just got the hurdles that they're going over right now. Kind of not quite seeing it, but caught a glimpse of it on the left there. And at this, they're past the 2K mark, which we actually have a split for. So you can see the splits there. Everybody in the front still pretty close. And then we've got a few guys back by a couple, 20 seconds apiece. Look at them. They're trying to hang on with Ciro, though.
Yep, so we saw there on the map that this is kind of going around the perimeter, hence the wall with barbed wire there. Glad they don't make them go over the barbed wire fence. Don't give Spartan any ideas.
Yeah, in Texas, they always use those, I don't know what those ladder walls are.
Yeah, with the
inverted over the fences.
With the inverted barbed wire. Looking Angel just side by side with Eugenio.
All right, we're going to switch to the women here.
Recuérdenlo bien, esto es una competencia, sí, pero solo una podrá llevarse la gloria de ganar esta final del Mexican National Series. Así es que denlo todo. Así es que yo pregunto, ¿quién soy? No, chicas, con más fuerza, no las escucho. ¿Quién soy? Solo mejor de lo mejor, ¿quién soy?
Please tell him, not tell me again, louder. Tell me who you are. Arranca! Let's go! You get me psyched. I got goosebumps. I'm not even at the race. I'm at home watching this. I get goosebumps. Oh, that'll get you pumped. And look, these ladies are.
There's one lady. Yeah, one of them jumped off the start. She's got a little gap already. Here, we'll come back to the guys in a minute. There's Dulce. right behind the lady with the ponytail. Sitting in about fourth place or so right now. Barbara's working her way up.
Well, the way these ladies are moving, they're about to catch the guys. They are moving really fast.
They're leaving me. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they'd leave me too. I bet. I checked my ego many races ago. We passed by many amazing female runners, and I applaud them.
Speaking of our marathoner Rabbit is, he does throughout the race, but you can see they kind of leave him at the. Here's a good shot of that table that they climb up on.
Reminds me of that part of the Cargo Net 2.0, that same table.
Yeah, that's right.
Good
we
long
don't
stretch.
see that. We
Beautiful
haven't seen that this year.
Look at that vista.
Yeah,
Look at that.
That's so pretty.
Looks like a little soccer field there on the side. They're going to run past, like you were mentioning earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That ground, not too undulating. Like you said, not very wet. Seems very runnable.
Yeah, if you're used to the elevation, that is. Because they are,
Yeah.
like I said, around
Yeah.
7,000 feet.
Yeah, true.
Until I can catch back up, and let's switch back over to the guys. Well, actually, still waiting for our Rabbit to catch back up to the front guys.
We can see the other hurdles there on the other side of the fence that they'll come back through, correct?
That's the kids' course, actually.
That's
going
kids'
through
course?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite tell.
Yeah, that's some small hurdles. Which we've seen that. Yeah, we've seen small hurdles like that at OCRWC before. Let's see what we got here for the guys.
There we go.
Guys
coming off the monkey bars, it looks like.
Yeah, they must have ripped through there.
Yeah, so that should be the sixth obstacle. That should be monkey bars. They went over the 6-foot wall, went through the monkey bars. Up next, we're going to have the Atlas carry. Yep, there we go. Wow, look at Eugenio making and Angel trying to make a move on the Atlas stone carry. Getting away. Nice. There you go. Ciro going to try and catch him back on the run. That was Angel. Angel made a move on the Atlas stone carry. Wow, nice. So hard. That the ball is so heavy. So hard to get back into a fast pace easy like that. And he didn't miss a beat. Now Ciro is going to have to run him back down.
Somewhere in here,
And once again, man, Ciro Perez, I don't know him personally, but he's a Masters athlete, and I'm just rooting for him. I consider Angel Quintero a friend of mine. Ciro Perez is a Masters athlete, and he's right there in the elite field, going for the win. I'm rooting for him. What an amazing athlete, just consistent runner majority of his life.
I've got a graphic on the Spanish guy's screen. There it is. I don't know how that got on there. I'll have to keep an eye on that for them.
Yeah, in the middle of summertime, look at just the foliage and the run is beautiful to run through. There we see some of the motorcycles you were talking about that they're using to get footage and move all around course. Course officials can move around.
These little scooters. Yep.
And so I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that a lot of the terrain now, the rest of the is going to look like this, like you were talking about, where it's might be slightly undulating, but not wet, just dry, not too sloppy.
Yeah, you get some. You can see they're kind of going downhill here. You can see those legs kicking back. really far. They're letting gravity take them.
Yeah, that's always a good time to just kind of regain some of your breath. Bomb the downhill, just let gravity do its thing. Brace your legs. That's why it's good to work on stability. Be able to brace yourself as you're just kind of letting gravity do its thing and catching your breath so you can get back to a maintainable pace when it hits the flat, as they're doing right here. Sometimes you'll come down from the downhill run still and hit the flat, still running as fast as you were when you're coming down, and you start to realize it's not maintainable. All right, bucket carry. I'm interested to see how long this bucket carry is.
This is just an all-over bucket carry. Look at the tape. Look at the tape all over the place. They're all together now.
We just
had a pass.
What is this in the shape of? This is going to be one of those things they can look back on Strava, on their GPS, and they can see that it's in the shape of a Spartan helmet, isn't it?
Yeah, it usually is. And if it is, it's a big one. Because I can't even quite tell.
And this is all like perfect angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is quite the bucket run. And Eugenio is just making work of it. There we see some of what's probably the permanent obstacles. They got the little low crawl. They put once again, this is a military college, right? A military school, so they'll put the cadets through low crawls through the cargo nets right there. It looks like that the Spartan athletes today won't be going through it. There we have the splits again.
Now, yeah, this is right before. This is at the 3K mark, so about right before the. Oh shoot! I messed up the. There we go. Right before the bucket carry. So you see, Ciro was in the lead, but obviously he made a move on the bucket carry and moved into first.
Yep. So after this, the next obstacle they're going to hit up is going to be the plate drag, followed by barbed wire. Really interested to see how long the barbed wire is. That was a hell of a bucket carry.
Yeah, even though it was flat, it was all over.
Amazed he picked that lane. Amazed Ciro picked that lane that had the bigger dip in it. I would have picked one of the flatter lanes, like the one that Eugenio is on right now. No, that's not Eugenio. I'm sorry, that's on him. Yeah, that was a much smoother lane. Wow, look at that pace immediately out of the gate.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far ahead Eugenio is at this point, but he's not in sight. There he is. You can see him off in the distance.
I see him in the distance. And man, Ciro is gonna have to work hard to catch back up to him. He's moving at a very fast pace. That's gotta be a 6-something pace. Is that the barbed wire crawl right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is. It is, and so that's no big deal. That's no big deal. That's very short. That's maybe one of the shortest barbed wire crawls I've ever seen. Matter of fact, that looks as long as we have in the States before you go to the start line. You know what I'm talking about, Jason? Normally they have a little barbed wire crawl you can start before you go to the wall and get to the start line. That looks comparable to that, so no big deal. But we'll see how, and it doesn't look muddy, it's dry. It shouldn't affect them coming up to the next obstacle, which will be the Z wall. These gentlemen I'm confident they'll make quick work of this. Now, I wonder if this is the new Z wall. It doesn't say Z wall 2.0. So this almost looks like this is the normal Z wall, correct?
Correct.
Without any surprises. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they had that at the last race, right? They didn't have the Z wall 2.0.
No, but I did see it at one of the American races. Trying to remember which one it was. One of the just this past weekend. Yeah, they had it. I remember seeing videos of a race that Kevin Thompson won. Maybe I forget the exact.
That wasn't Utah
venue. No. There's Angel. I know we missed him slip off. He is.
Oh wow!
I think I was looking away whenever he missed it.
Oh,
yeah,
man, bummer. That's defeating.
And it's not a short one either.
That's defeating. While he's running that penalty loop, the other gentlemen are there on the sandbag carry.
Yeah, and here comes number 4.
Yeah.
All right, so now he's out of the penalty.
Yep. See, they're on the sandbag carry. After this, they'll be.
Look at this strong. That is a strong run. That's a strong man right there.
Yeah, he is. Look at that determination in his face. I think he keeps his carriage up. He's not slumped over. I had always bad about slumping that over. He's keeping his carriage upright, running with confidence. They'll come up to the pistol shot next, or as they call it here, Pista del Combatiente. The combatant pistol.
Yeah.
Oh, I know some people are going to nick themselves on that poking out right there. Little concrete thing. How many people do you think are going to hit that?
So we've got
I'd be surprised if that's still there at the end of the weekend.
Handful of guys on Z-Wall all at the same time. Kind of the chase pack here. Ciro caught up with Eugenio.
Yeah, Eugenio looking
on
back,
the sandbag carry.
Look at Ciro's going to try and use that. I wonder if he's using that strategy to get right up behind him and try and wear him out. Let him know, hey, I'm right here behind you. I'm on your butt. Better move fast. Get him to push it a little harder than he would like. Wear him out a little bit and then make your move.
Look at him go. Man, they're flying.
It almost looks like that's on a downhill, but it's maybe not. Now,
I think it was a slight downhill there. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Look at that view.
Yeah, this is kind of like, there's a lot of like rocky roads like this, but there are some good single tracks too. But man, this is a climb that I didn't get to experience myself.
That actually looks like a really rough one, man. That's long. Not steep. What is that, maybe 5% grade? But really technical. Look at all the rocks just everywhere. It's easy to roll an ankle right there.
Yeah. You see Soto taking the same line. Yep. Like kind of, there he goes. He's about to go around.
He's wearing him out.
Following behind him. Yeah. All right, let's see. The splits for the women at.
I'm just enjoying looking at this beautiful view of the area. Wow, what a nice run, man. Long hill. Super long. Look, they've resorted to power hiking. Ciro making the pass. He said, you can power hike all you want. I got more in the tank.
Still climbing. Yeah, so the women splits at the second kilometer. So this is, a little bit ago. They're at, let's check their time, what they're at currently. So they're at 15 minutes currently. So around the 9-minute mark is when Dulce crossed the 2-kilometer mark.
Yep,
and the chase pack is not too crazy far behind.
Yeah. I mean, she only has a 30-second lead. She's still starting to build a commanding lead, which is kind of what we expected. But that Miss Carmen Rivera,
power hiking.
She's
Got some
giving a
power
run
hiking
for
here.
Yeah. Well, it's long, and the video is misleading, right? Like I say 5%, but I could be totally off. Who knows how actually steep that is, and it's starting to look more steep. Not to mention how technical that is.
And they were running earlier, and now they just hit that power hiking section for just a moment.
Seems like they're cresting the hill now.
Yeah, you can definitely see kind of down a ways.
It's always kind of important to keep it in the back of your mind of these races and know, yeah, that uphill it really sucks, but what goes up must come down. There in
Got
the
the
lower
age
right-hand
group.
corner.
Yeah, age group men going through the barbed wire. Yeah, I love this technical terrain.
Well, just the foliage and the view around there looks absolutely beautiful. You know what's interesting? This is reminiscent of what North Texas looks like, kind of in our area, Jason. This is exactly what the
Yeah,
trails
trees
kind of
are right. Trees are slightly bigger, but not as it's not as dry as like West Texas, obviously, and not as dry as Pueblo. Pueblo was a lot drier too, but not as green as Valle de Bravo. Crazy how you go further in and you get into those areas where they just get more rainfall.
Yeah, and not crazy far apart either. There's a couple hours apart. How vastly different the geography is.
Yeah. Big difference that I didn't really realize it existed in Mexico until I visited.
They got a little porta potty out there. Look at that. Yeah, they got little porta potties out there at the top.
I didn't see I didn't see any water tables or volunteers.
I mean, hey, can we give props to the team who decided that? Yeah, I know it's more difficult to put these at the top of the hill, but they did it anyways. They could have took the path less traveled and just put it at the bottom because that's easier to get to. But no, they took the path less traveled. Good on them. I think sometimes the porta potty guys, unsung heroes. We don't give them enough credit.
Oh man, I remember when I did the only battle frog that I got to do. You might have been at that one as well. It was probably the last one they had in Texas, and
Yep,
they
I
had
was
some
there.
of the best porta potty guys. They would clean it after every single person went in. They were singing and dancing. It was crazy. All right, let's jump over
I was
to
there.
the women.
I met those gentlemen. I shook their hands, and I told them I said, man, you guys are absolutely incredible. Your work ethic. I made a point to tell them, and I had a whole conversation with them. I know exactly what you're talking about, Jason. Never met another porta potty company on that level. They're still the Mercedes Benz of the porta potty business. In my
That's
mind.
right.
We see some more power hiking there, and so we know back up climbing. And we saw originally when we were going over the map, in the elevation map, we see where this is the majority of the climb. They're tackling the majority, which, hey, if I'm racing, I want to take on the majority of the climb right at the front. I do not want to climb 900 feet, when I'm 12 miles into a race. I just don't have it in me.
Yeah. Great job to the rabbit. I love this over shoulder. Obviously, it's sometimes it's tricky to not get your shoulder into view, but keeping ahead of the athlete and filming behind yourself is not easy. And I know he did it a lot. I saw him later on in the race, and he does it quite a bit.
No,
of course, you got to keep an eye on it.
Ciro is using it as. I wonder if Ciro is using it as motivation, chasing the rabbit.
Yeah, right. We've got the women coming down in just a moment. We'll jump back to it as soon as we see the front lady. Look at the view, though.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah, Eugenio. He's looking more taxed than he did in the last race for sure. Where Ciro seems less taxed. Angel probably kind of mentally beat up from having to do that penalty loop. He was right there with them as he always is in the other races, and that's just kind of mentally an obstacle to deal with.
Yeah, and Z-Wall is such a kind of random one to fail. You know, it's pretty rare.
I mean, it happens to all of us. You know, we can practice. You know, you may never miss something as simple as the monkey bars. You take it for granted. You get complacent with it, and then one day you just slip off, and you stand still for a moment, and you're stunned. Well, what in the world happened? It can happen to any of us. It will happen. It's not a matter of if it'll happen. It'll happen to you, and hopefully you get it out of the way, and it never happens again. But look at Dulce.
That's right.
You hit that bucket, she's running with it. She's not power hiking it. She's going to run this. I bet she runs the whole thing like that. Even though she doesn't have anyone too close behind, she's not going to give any chances for anyone to catch her. Good on her.
Oh, dang it. I did it again.
I can't wait to see. I got to look up their Strava runs. I can't wait to see what this design ends up looking like. Matter of fact, I could probably look at the map.
Here's second place female. I'm gonna pull up the split here. I think these splits are so
Carmen.
these. So we don't have another split till later on, and these splits here, you know, just at the 3K mark. So still just a couple minutes ago, about 3 minutes ago when Dulce passed through. We got Barbara in third, Carmen in second, Nora in fourth, and but they're not. And Nora and Paola haven't crossed the 3K mark yet.
Okay.
Do we like how that sounds in Spanish better than English, Jason? Paula? Paula?
What's that?
I kind of like it better than Paula. There's a slightly nicer ring to it. Some of these names in Spanish, I think, just sound better.
Mm-hmm.
I know I saw a second one.
Plus, none of us will ever be as lucky to have the name Dulce Flores. You can't, like, her parents deserve an award. They won with the best name for your daughter.
You can see the guys in the picture-in-picture. They ran through a little bit of like military obstacle course. Like this is permanent stuff that they're hitting right here.
Okay, so they did use some of those implements. Yeah, look at that. There we go. We see in the lower right-hand corner, he's hitting their normal stone wall.
Mm-hmm. Second place female right here, Carmen. The men on the barbed wire. Second barbed wire, that is.
Yeah, tell you what, Carmen is moving really good. That just goes to show you how fast Dulce is going. She is not giving any chance for these ladies. She's increasing the gap between first and second. And she's not letting up off the gas, which would be very easy to do. If you know nobody's too close behind you, it's easy to put it in coast mode and just coast. That also leaves up the opportunity for someone to pass it, and we're still early on in the race, right?
Yeah, here's Dulce with a nice hefty lead here. Coming into the barbed wire. The first barbed wire.
I don't know if you can hear it, but both my dogs are here. Begging in front of me, making all kinds of noise. Saying, pay attention to me. Opting to not change the position of her rolling straight through on one side on the barbed wire crawl. I just get too dizzy. I can't do that. I gotta switch it up. Yeah, Dulce looking strong. Look at that nice controlled pace.
We got some hotkey shortcut button issues that keep messing up the Spanish guy's screen. Oh, I see which one it is now. Let's see if I can fix it for him.
Here we see. Yeah, once again, it shows how fast Dulce is going here. She's starting to catch the guys.
Guys on the Tyrolean Traverse.
Let's see. Tyrolean Traverse, of course, 15th obstacle out of 32. So these guys are making short work of this course. Still so much more running to do. There's going to be some more wider gaps of pure running. All they have after that Tyrolean Traverse coming up is a 7-foot wall in Olympus.
I see where the issue is now.
Look at that. And Dulce running with the carriage upright. Just a really good running form. Head upright.
That girl's
very in control.
Yeah, that girl's fast, man.
She's coming into the sandbag carry. Did the bucket carry not too long ago. And she's going to run with it as well. She is opting to not put it in coast mode. Look at that, man. In the lower right-hand corner there, we see the men on their next long stretch of running. Pretty decent stretch of running they're on. Yeah, 27 minutes into the race. Still lots of race to go. Once again, it's a beast. Third in the Mexican National Series. A lot of time left, and they know it.
Yeah, and not, we saw in Utah, obviously being a ski resort mountain at elevation, it was for the guys right around 3 hours, and then for the ladies like 2.5 hours or 3.5 hours. This one's not going to be quite that long. You about to get to see something fun, or did I miss it already? No.
There we got the gentlemen are power hiking up there, up that long stretch. Hey, there we go. There's our producer. There you are, jumping on, getting a little break, a little reprieve.
So we didn't plan that at all, and we ended up doing it a lot, and it really worked out because we were able to just get me into places that I wouldn't have been able to get to otherwise a lot quicker.
Yeah, man, good on Dulce. She ran that whole thing.
Just think, look, I mean, obviously this is our rabbits' first times doing this, but just having somebody that can run with the front people is awesome. Having guys on camera the entire race is so cool.
Man, look at this beautiful view in the lower right-hand corner, the men's part here.
Yeah, it's so
dense foliage, and even though it's marked pretty dang well. They have the marks fairly close together, so even though it's not in a straight line, you'll know soon if you were to get off course, which it looks like it might be easy to do in some of the spots. And I'll venture a guess that actually running down the hill the men are doing right now is going to be more difficult than uphill because of how undulating that is. It'll look like a real easy spot that we were talking about earlier. The roll your ankles. It looks exactly like that, but they're bombing it going down.
They're gapping our rabbit, man. I'll jump back over to Dulce. You can hear that? You can hear the music.
Yep, you know that. It can be deceiving. You think you're getting close to the end of the race because you can hear that DJ, you can hear the festival area, but no, you have lots of more time to go.
Here, let's jump over to who we got. Ciro out in front.
You can see more of their permanent obstacle stuff there on the left.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we had to ride the scooter to keep up with him. That's for sure.
Yeah, look at his running form. How close he keeps his arms to him. It's a very minimal arm swing. You notice how close he keeps his hands to his chest? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. His upper body's got a little bit of a rock to it, but yeah.
Relájate en la bajada. Venga, venga.
Eugenio's, I think his upper body's a little bit more stable, to be honest.
Cabrón, la de allá arriba, ¿verdad? Sí, la de allá arriba es lo pesado. Sí, lo pesado.
Yeah, still trying to figure out what is on his arm sleeve.
Yeah, I can run through it.
Ultimately not important. Just making me more and more curious.
Keep up with him, that's for sure.
Like you said, what a really nice facility is what you were mentioning earlier. And I wonder what that's used for right there. It seems like they have a tarp over that entire thing.
Yeah, it could be like a farming field or something.
Must be, right? You see the sun coming out a little brighter. Got a rabbit kind of cutting over to get a better shot.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up with Soto.
Yeah, I did. Not many of us could. The man is fast, plain and simple.
I'll tell you one thing that makes a big difference. Watching Utah and like this shot right here. Obviously, there it goes. He's up a little bit now. Hang on, I think we got Dulce in the bottom corner. It's a tight shot. Like if you get close, you don't get to see everything. And with the other camera, my camera that I was using an iPhone, and we get this wide angle lens. And not that Android phones don't have that, but unfortunately, with this app, the app cannot utilize those.
Okay.
So it just looks so much better with the wide angle lens, especially when you're running next to these guys.
Yeah, you see the look in Ciro's face. He looks like he's in the pain cave. He has an amazing... It seems to be that he has an amazing ability to just stay in the pain cave and keep that same pace. To just understand, hey, this is where I'm at. I need to embrace it and not give in to all the negative thoughts telling you to slow down.
He's gone now.
Once again, he knows his body really well. He knows what he's capable of. Last race in the National Series, they want to show up and show out, finish strong.
So this is where Angel Seto just came through. So they're 20 seconds apart. Still not a huge gap. And Angel's still back there. He's, we haven't seen him for a bit, but he's lurking back there. Yeah, and this is that section
it was a long penalty loop.
Yep, it was.
For Angel.
Got quite a long road after this, passing all the way past the festival area. Once they get out of this little grassy area.
Are they going to be using that obstacle they just passed that's got the tires? The little wall of tires? No. Okay. I know we've seen a few races with that in OCR here in the States. It's deceptively difficult because they move so much, right? You think it'd be easier, but it's not crazy easy.
You talking about the tire wall, right?
Yeah. There's two of them back there. Amazed they didn't
Yeah, pretty
implement
typical. Right, for military courses, pretty something you see a lot of.
Yeah.
There's me in the background getting left.
It's hard to keep up with these guys. They're fast, man.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you've been running all over.
Now here we're about to get a good view of. Here's Eugenio, and we're cruising, and look at this gap to Ciro.
Wow, that's larger than I thought it was. Okay. Man, Ciro is on the gas.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 20 seconds or 30 seconds or what it is, but when you sit there and just watch it, it looks like forever. Look at that view at the bottom.
Now, this is one of those long stretches I was talking about earlier. That it's you can't lose sight of the guy behind you or in front of you. You're going to see each other. But to see just how far away he is, that's a hard gap to close. That's a real hard gap to close.
Set it on the Olympus using the rock holds. Personally, I always use the holes themselves. What about you?
Yeah, I do. I'll do both, actually. I do prefer the holes. But you know what's interesting? That material doesn't look like that plastic material that we're using in the States where it's much more slippery. That Olympus looked like the original Spartan Olympus. But you saw it up close more than me.
Pay attention to, right, I didn't pay attention to that, but I know in Valle de Bravo it was the slick version. I know that because it was raining and I couldn't keep my feet on it. I still just hung and made it across, but I couldn't keep my feet on it at all.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. That might be the slippery version. It just looked like the original and not as you know what's interesting? It almost seems like race by race. What percentage they're inverting the wall changes, right? Or slanting, I should say.
Yeah, that one was
Slanting.
It looked a lot taller and steeper.
And then also, Olympus it looked like it was nice and dry. So that always helps huge. Anyone you've been to one of the muddy races, it's raining, you try and jump on Olympus. You tear up your hands, it wears you out. Way more difficult when it's muddy and wet. Wow, look at that pace.
Can't see Eugenio in the background here. We're going to get back to him in a second. This is the road. Yeah, this road is kind of similar to the same, like when you're coming back in. This is kind of that same out, and you come back in a nearby road at the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I have never seen a beast with so much pavement. I remember the last obstacle course race I've seen with this much pavement running.
Yeah, and that's a unique thing. Now, the 3K that they had last year, I think they really stayed in the. I don't know how much they got. I don't know if they really even got into the woods, but they definitely didn't as much as this race, obviously. So it was probably almost all concrete.
You're coming up to the inverted wall. Eugenio is. And it almost looks like that's a downhill. I got my golden doodle here up in the screen with us.
Yeah.
Wants to be a star. Wants to commentate as well. Probably a better look than me.
Here's my attempt at keeping up with Ciro. I tell you what, I had fun is chasing Hawk at Utah. Coming down the mountain, he had ran a 19-mile race and won it, like a mountain course, like a lot of elevation, and won it the day before, and came out and did the Utah race, the Utah Beast, and still won it handedly, like 5 minutes, I think was ahead.
Yeah.
So coming down the mountain, he was pretty being pretty gingerly about it, just being kind of. He had rolled his ankle. That's what it was. He had rolled his ankle the day before too, so he was really kind of making sure that he didn't hurt himself further. And so that allowed me to keep up with him on the down the mountain at the very end of the race. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, Hawk Hall is nowhere near peaking. He's the future of the sport. That's his backyard. You know what I mean? I can't imagine a more comfortable race for him. I'm sure he's, obviously his father, Hobie's been training him and teaching him for a long time. Hawk Hall has made a name for himself in the sport upon his own right. And just an amazing young man, fantastic athlete, and we won't see the last of him for a very long time. He still has so much more to continue to soar in the sport. He's more and more of a threat, especially at the mountain.
And what we're seeing him do lately, the performances that he's had in trail and OCR. Here's a little bit of mud. He's just been killing it, and like we haven't seen anybody touch him this year. Like not even close. Not even Chris Brown or Balin Bean at Utah. They were second and third, and they were still a good ways behind.
Yeah, I wonder if someone on a flatter course can run him down. I know Sean Rogers showed up to one of the races. I'm not sure if he was in Utah, but he showed up to one of the races.
Big Bear.
It was Big Bear. I'd like to see Sean Rogers take on Hawk Hall
Roberts.
on a flatter course. Sean Roberts. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Sean Roberts, thank you. To see him take on Sean Roberts at a flatter course, I think that'd be really cool.
They caught up to me. I think they surprised me here. Like I didn't realize they were right behind me.
You're still ready with that camera, though. You immediately turn around with the camera. I wonder how far we're into this race now. I think they went over the inverted wall. That's the 18th obstacle in the race. I'm not sure if they've tackled the 8-foot wall yet. But,
I believe that's going to be the obstacle coming out of this. No.
We still have 11 or 12 more obstacles to go.
Let me look at the map myself.
Look, quite the split among all the gentlemen. I'd like to see the split between them now at this point, because it looks like you can't. All three of our leaders doesn't like you can really see each other. Especially now we were out of the straights and into dense foliage. There's a little water spot we were talking about. Yeah, you'll notice they don't stop. At this point in your career, competing as an elite athlete, you won't really ever stop for water. You got to pinch seconds, make every moment count. And as fast as these guys are, especially as Eugenio is trying to really catch Ciro, he just can't afford to stop for anything. But that's also
so look at this.
None of the guys had any hydration on them.
Yeah, look at this. They pick me up in these rugged trails and just start cruising with those with their scooters. It was pretty wild. Not something that you see in the U.S. They were just all over. But yeah, you're right. 8-foot walls coming up. So he's getting a ride as well. 55 minutes in. We're getting close to the only other split that we have for them at 11.6 kilometers. Getting close to that. So they're probably around 10 kilometers at this point.
Segundo, sí.
So about halfway.
This is a pretty long run too, correct?
Yeah.
This goes to show everyone is watching. Hey, this is why you want to train for one of these races. You know, hey, work on your aerobic base. Go on some long, slow runs. Running is the majority of this race. It's an obstacle course race, but the majority of it is running. So it would be to your benefit to work on some long, slow runs, come up with a hydration strategy, a fueling strategy, test that before the race. Don't change anything on race day. So you come into these races with a strategy and you execute it. Our pack leaders here, they've been doing this for a long time. They know their body, they have a strategy, and they know what to carry through. Most people cannot get away with no hydration.
Yeah, that's right. Rabbit got a ride to catch up with Ciro.
The look on that man's face looks like he's a man on a mission, doesn't he? Look at the determination. Oh,
little breather
never
here.
Seen him walk. Never seen him walk. There he goes. Yep, nice. That's about as much of a break as he's going to take.
Their walls are funny because they started off with the 4-foot wall, and then they went 5, 6, 7, 8, and then there's a 10-foot wall later.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how they put them in order. I like this too. You know, you got the road here, but they run them down the grassy areas alongside the road. All right, so other camera is down. Oh, here we go at the 8-foot wall, or the 8-foot wall there, and Eugenio just got to it.
So a decent gap, and this time they opted to keep him off the pavement, and now they're on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Really thought they would have kept it on the pavement, as much pavement running as there's been so far.
Yeah, they definitely take them off as best they can. I mean, there's some spots where it's just, there is nothing else.
A little one track.
So we haven't seen Angel. We haven't seen Angel for a while. So bottom right camera is heading back down to wait for him to come to the 8-foot wall. So we'll wait and see him come through in just a moment. "59 minutes in." Like I said, I think Ciro is past kilometer 12 at this point.
Yeah, up next we'll have Twister and Bender, and rope climb. And of course, Twister's been out. Used to be a new obstacle. It's been out for years now, so shouldn't be any surprise to these guys, and they'll make quick work of it. I'm interested to see if they'll use the backwards technique. Oh, do it? Okay.
Here we go. There's Angel.
Seems like Angel's making up time, though. Not that far away from Eugenio.
Yeah, so next obstacles coming up is Stairway to Sparta, the balance beam, and the slack line, and then that 10-foot wall. Now we get to follow Angel for a bit.
Okay.
He's moving good, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's making up time.
Yeah, his run looks
He's
strong.
picking up the pace. I mean, falling off that Z wall, man, that was huge. That really set him back. But he's doing an amazing job of trying to catch back up. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry, not it was Stairway to Sparta, not Twister.
Obstacle 20. Remember, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 at the end.
Oh, that's right. I thought that last wall was the 10-foot wall. That was the 8-foot wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 10-foot wall is crazy high. Yeah, it's kind of nuts, to be honest. So taking a look over his shoulder to see where Eugenio is.
You notice how well they have the course marked there with the straight lines. You can't go off course right there.
Yeah, it's nice, nice tape work.
Let's see. Little rocks to jump over there.
Eugenio is approaching Stairway now. So Ciro's got a very nice gap at this point. Let's take a look at our split for the men.
Oh, yeah.
You see, 4th and 5th are still, still haven't gotten to that point yet. But
I don't think we've even seen that kind of gap in the rest of the National Series races. In the 1st and 2nd?
No.
I don't think there's been that big of a gap. And of course, if this is a longer race, right? So maybe that's to be expected. But
and at this point, yeah, they've already gone twice? Let's see. Yeah, they've gone just a little over the super distance at this point. But still, so yeah, super distance and a minute gap and 2.5 minutes on hill. It is quite a bit. This is grassy areas that are right next to these roads, but still very pretty. Look at the rocks behind them. I don't know if you noticed that, but that is volcanic rock all throughout there.
I was thinking that. You see, kind of the design on it. It looks really cool. What kind of unique terrain to go running through.
I saw some spots where we were, driving through in town, like in the middle of town. They would have parks and like greenbelt type areas, and they had the naturally formed volcanic rock in there, and you could actually see that flowy stuff. It's very cool.
Geologically speaking, I think Mexico has some really unique areas if you're into geology and just the overall geography there. Really cool area. Mexico City is such a rich area of culture. It'd be really fun to come race and do these races.
Yeah, it really is. Good place to just get some new experiences. Unique experiences for sure. So this is Angel that we're following in the bottom right.
And I want to say Ciro does marathons, so he's used to running at a hard pace in these longer distances. I'm not sure how much of a longer distance runner Eugenio and Angel are, even though they've obviously been training and running for a long time.
Bottom right camera, we're pushing up fast to catch up from Angel to catch up to Eugenio, and you can see how big that gap is now. It's quite a bit. This is an uphill that Ciro's on right now. I was about to say that his running form looks like he's slowing down, but this is an uphill here, so it makes sense.
Okay. This is what I was talking about earlier about the video sometimes being misleading. You can't tell that from the video, right? But
yeah,
you obviously
it is. It is tough. I know we haven't seen Dulce for a while. She is still out in the front with a heavy lead with Carmen in second and Barbara in third. They're keeping that positioning up to this point for sure, and we are going to get back to her later on.
I'll be interested to see how the points play out for Carmen. And the ladies are usually there in, say, the 4th, 5th, 6th, the chase pack. Let's see how this... Here we go on the balance beam.
Whoa. Oh.
Ciro falls off
That
the
was a
balance
fail.
beam. Has to take the penalty loop. Wow. This is going to give Eugenio a chance. Let's see how long this penalty loop is. If that's it right there, that's not too bad. And you know what? I think that's a decent distance for a penalty loop. You know, it doesn't take very long to do that balance beam. And so giving something that's unnecessarily long as a punishment for falling off the balance beam wouldn't quite make sense, but this seems like a decent penalty loop for it. Oh,
yeah, that's what they
We see
kind of
Eugenio.
want to shoot for. Yeah, stopping to get some water. And if he would have known, right? Would he have stopped and been slowing down here, or would he have been pushing?
He wouldn't have stopped. He would have capitalized on that. That's the hard part of racing through the dense foliage and through trails. He doesn't have eyesight of them. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Jason. Had he known, he wouldn't have stopped there. And even then, he didn't stop for that long.
You can hear the dogs at this little complex right that they're running past.
Yeah, we have that in Dallas. When we do the Dallas race, or used to, I should say. And I always use that as motivation. I'd imagine the dogs chasing me in my head to get me to run faster. Here we go, Eugenio coming up to the balance beam.
Notice that he kind of kicked his feet off a little bit. That might have been what Cedric's problem was. He must have just slipped. This turn gets everybody.
Oh
yep,
shoot, almost went off course.
This is pretty. What was that? A trampoline that they just went past? Did you see that?
Yeah, I thought that
In the
looked like
bottom
a
right?
trampoline. This is like someone's
big one.
backyard. Some tents, yeah, some random tents. Someone's living out there. Here, maybe we'll get another glance of it. Her rabbit's turning back around.
Oh yeah,
No, there we go.
I'll pull it back up whenever the camera passes by, because I go back. Camera's going back for on hill.
Now this looks like a hill climb as well. Am I wrong about that?
Mm-hmm. It does look like it, yeah.
More pavement. Now I wonder if this has been a long-standing course that they've used over the years, and that these guys know exactly what to expect.
Yeah, that is curious. Ooh, here we go. On hill. Nicely done. Gets him too.
Yep. Fortunately, catches them before they go too far off.
Yeah. Now I could tell, Angel does leave me for a second here, but I could tell that he was starting to slow down a little bit as well. Where is Ciro? He's like across the field there.
Yeah, and you can always
the
that
trampoline.
Back is iconic. Yeah,
right.
Past the trampoline. Can't say UB wouldn't have stopped to jump on it a little bit. I'm not sure we could have passed that so easily by. Am I right, Jason? You got my ADHD kicks in. Ooh, trampoline. Don't mind if I do. See, that's why I won't win the
looked
race.
Well, it didn't even look like a normal backyard trampoline that we have, like the black ones. It looked like a legit performance trampoline.
Maybe. It's probably
like it was
an Olympic
that white
sport that
mesh.
we don't even know exists.
Yeah.
You've been watching the Olympics. How aren't you amazed every single day you turn on the Olympics and you're like, that's a sport? You didn't even know that sport even existed. You know, like how have I
Oh
went
man,
this many years of my life and not known?
yeah. What's the big topic right now? The one I've seen the most of is the second place guy in the pistol shooting. That he was just like super
Oh,
casual. Did you
Turkey.
see that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Turkish. The story is really amazing. He was like, he went through a bad divorce. He's single dad. He's a mechanic, and he
Oh
just
wow.
kind of picked up the sport, and he's just really casual about it, and you know, he's got that freshly divorced anger power on his hands. Shoot up and pull up a gun. Who knows what's going through his
That
head?
is.
But now you see all the
Yeah.
memes, right?
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
see
pretty amazing.
rock climbing. I was watching the other day. They got rock climbing in the Olympics now, and oh my god, these people are doing all the hard
Is it?
holds in 6,
Is
7
this the
seconds.
first year, or has it been in before?
I don't know for sure. I want to say it's the first year. Just like skateboarding is new. I know that's new. I know several other are new.
Okay. Well, good for them. That's awesome.
We're getting closer to seeing OCR in the Olympics with the pentathlon. I'm hoping to see more of that.
Yeah. Right. A form of it. Look, our rabbit's starting to leave a Seto now. You slow down a little bit.
A little
It's
bushwhacking.
just thick in
A
here.
little bushwhacking. I don't quite. I see one tag there. That seems like that'd be easy to go off course. You don't see the markers as close together as you did previously. It looks like I could be totally.
It is
wrong.
a single track trail. Right. It's a
Oh, it
single
is.
track trail. You can just see it's very over.
Oh, I
It's
see.
pretty overgrown. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Did he fall? No, he's letting him pass. Oh, I think they're going downhill now. You can like feel the choppiness in his steps. Let's get that camera forward. There we go. That's probably why he stayed so far ahead. He knew that at some point Ciro was gonna try to
For
leave
sure,
him.
especially on that single track. It looks like that's going up at a nice little hill. Yeah, now that looks like some difficult terrain.
Yeah, all that straw loose,
Look at that.
very loose
I don't
underfoot.
see him walk off.
Mm-mm.
Gets right
There's
back into
Eduardo.
it. Hey, right back on the pavement. I'm telling you, never seen a beast with this much pavement.
Yeah, coming up, we saw the slack line, so we're going to see the 10-foot wall, twister, and bender. Man, we really got to weave in and out of this stuff here. Oh, time to get a ride. Down the single track trail? This is fantastic.
Yeah, fearless. He's been doing this for a while.
I think the rabbits might need to run with helmets next time. Could you imagine seeing that?
It looks like a little escarpment. Yeah,
This
that
is
looks like a
getting
long
very
climb.
close.
That kind of gives it perspective.
Yeah. This. Let's see. I think they haven't hit. No, they hit the slack line. So there was a long Maybe they changed where the slack line was in comparison to where the map is. Because it says it's at 16K, but I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that far in.
Yeah. Do we miss Twister, or is this just a long
No.
section of run?
Yeah, they've got this, and then there's a long run down the back fence after this. So I think there's still just like this is just a long section of running with no obstacles. Probably the longest part of the course, to be honest.
More single
You know, the
track, too.
obstacles give you some respite as a rabbit, but you're not getting any here.
No, and you see the cactus back there and the spiky plants back there. I tell you what, if you're not paying attention to where you're going, there, not looking up, it'd be easy to hit some of that. Back on the pavement.
Now, this bottom camera, this is the road that they're about to hit, and you can just see how it just goes along this fence for quite a ways.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
this
that
is what they're about to
long.
get to.
Yeah, you can see his form starting to break just a hair. Pace is starting to slow down, whereas he's also going up a hill. Yeah, looks like he's hurting there. Hopefully he'll get some reprieve on the downhill.
Finally getting to this back fence. That's a long section. I didn't realize how long that section was. Just to get to the long section along the back fence.
Wow, yeah.
Look, still cruising down that stretch.
I feel bad for the rabbit at this point.
He's doing a great job, though.
Yeah.
Oh, slackline.
Okay.
So it is where it shows it on the map. That's right.
It's a pretty taut slack line. That is not like the ones we're used to over here. Yeah, nice. Nails it.
And it's not crazy long, but you know, if you're just like those ones in Conquer the Gauntlet, if you don't if you're not practicing that kind of stuff, it can get you.
Yeah, I mean the one to Conquer the Gauntlet could be looser though. You know, I mean that one's. I think that
It was
one's
definitely
easier to
longer.
follow.
It was longer too. Yeah, that one right there definitely was easier, but still one of those things that you know, a little bit of practice goes a long ways.
For sure.
Some hills back here. So we've been following Ciro for a while, and we're about to get eyes on Eugenio again in just a moment.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a while. We see Ciro. We know I'm trying to close the gap, but Ciro just has a really good lead. And I can't see him losing it at this point. Not as his level of fitness.
Walking.
Yeah.
Walking into
He's
the
not
slack
closing his
line.
gap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's looking.
Maybe like me, doesn't like the longer races. Has to compete to do it for the National Series, though. It is not an option for this gentleman.
Yeah. And it being a bigger guy, maybe that's kind of what it.
Ooh,
He's a big
almost.
buff dude.
Yeah, he's a bigger dude.
What he said? I know he said. He said with Jason.
Con Jason. Okay, yeah, he picked the pace back up.
Yeah. But these shots, though, man, the fact that we got the ride with the athletes like this is super awesome.
Yeah.
This is rare.
Really helpful.
Ciro's stopping for water.
Slow down at the top of the hill.
Yeah, he didn't have any hydration with him.
Yeah.
I think he normally wouldn't do that, but he knows he has a commanding lead. Might as well. It's really going to help him keep that lead.
All right. He's with us.
Yeah. The last thing you want to see after a long run like that is another little hill, no matter how slight the incline.
Good speed up. Good.
So, interesting story. On the way out of Mexico this time, I had a flight at 5 a.m. because they didn't have a flight out late enough to make sure that I had time to take care of everything. And
Section's long.
here we got Ciro going over some rubble. So I ended up getting a hotel at this place called iSleep, where it's these like pods, sleep pods that you get in. So you've got like a wall of these, little doors that you open them up and you climb on in, and you've got just enough room to sleep. And because I had to get up super early, and it was nice and cheap, I just needed a place to lay down, and it was awesome. It was kind of cool. It kind of looked like a spaceship.
Did you take any pictures? I want to see them. I'm having a hard time picturing it. I think I have an idea, but that's wild.
That'd be hilarious if I uploaded it and pulled it up on the screen right now.
I've never thought of you as high maintenance. I'm not surprised by that as well. You're a pretty humble guy. Jason Dupree does not want for much. He wants more rabbits, more coverage.
I want
which is
experience,
why it's a good
man.
reminder. You like the segue? Watch the segue. Which is why you need to support the OCR report. Support the Patreon. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow, comment, all that goes in the algorithm. It helps the channel. Every dollar goes a long way in getting technology and everything. Might be one of the best segues ever. You like that?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Look at Henio really picking up the pace now, man. Maybe he just needs to catch his breath.
You're right. He's running good.
There's a tape up here, and it goes down to the left.
Oh yeah, I see the pictures. Oh, nice.
But they keep going,
As
right?
well. That is not what I was imagining. Very modern.
Yeah, kind of futuristic looking. All right, so Ciro is coming around this corner. We'll switch angles here, and he's getting close to the baseball field that I was talking about, and where the 10-foot wall and twister are.
So, I mean, really impressive course design. It looks like they did a good job of utilizing every square mile of this lot of land for this military college, right? Like,
I'd agree with that.
To get a beast length worth out of here, that's pretty impressive. It's no wonder they had to utilize the pavement, right? There's only so much foliage and forest they had to work with on this piece of property.
But yeah, they've really, I mean, we've seen some beautiful views, some great single track.
Wow, look at that cactus right there they're passing.
Hmm.
That was beautiful. This is the size of that thing?
How do you
It's like
feel
Ciro
about
after
Soto's
getting-
form? How do you feel
Yeah,
about
that's
his
what I was
form
just
right
about
now?
to comment on. It looked like both of these gentlemen picked the pace up after maybe getting a little water, catching their breath. They
Mm.
got back on the gas, and they're moving really good. Ciro doesn't look like he's struggling as much anymore. He was starting to look like he was starting to slow down a little bit. Man, you'd be amazed how much a little water just goes a long way of hydrating you, help me keep you going. I was really
Yeah.
surprised there was more water stations, or these guys didn't bring any kind of hydration.
And they're getting close to, this is distance-wise, they're getting close to the end of the race. They still got quite a few obstacles to go through, but they're not very far from the festival area at this point. And I'm sure they kind of know that. Uh-oh. Did he just
Did he go
go?
off course? No. Okay, that looks like that's on course.
No, wait. Where does it go? Yeah, he went off course.
Yeah, he did go off course. It looks like that's part. Yeah, he called him back. Good hearing that he called him back with the whistle. And the most Latin thing we've had happen in the show today is the.
Those Mexican guys are good at, they got some wild whistles.
Oh no, he kept going. He didn't hear him. He's trying to track him down. Hey man, you're going the wrong way. I mean, that looks like that's on the course though. Those are
Well, it is, but you go. Don't tell me he doesn't go back.
Uh-oh. I don't know what's happening here.
We might be about to witness what should be a DQ. Look at him going down the hill.
I'm surprised.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what's going on here.
That is not
Let's leave it
good.
open for Eugenio.
But if he doesn't come back, like obviously, I don't think anybody talked about this after. Like I didn't hear the rabbit. He didn't speak that much English, so I didn't hear him say anything about it. But that was definitely, he did not go through the baseball field.
Yeah, and is it possible that maybe all the guys did the same thing
No,
and they let it roll because they all went
No.
the same direction?
I was with Angel for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he's at Twister. This is going to be interesting now.
Yeah, so he is going to take the backwards method. It's my favorite.
I know Eduardo. What was that? That button shouldn't have done whatever it just did. Eduardo, he just left right after this race, shortly after, to go to Paris, to go to the Olympics, actually, to go see some stuff. And so I'm going to contact him, but I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Let's see what the ruling was on that. I mean, we could be mistaken.
That sucks, man.
Yep. A little steep.
This is
hill
some
he's
pretty-
going down and trying to catch up.
Yeah, some pretty nasty stuff through here. I know he's back on some concrete there, but he must have cut. Yeah, he's cutting the course there to try and catch up because it gets pretty
Do we have
nasty
any
in there for a
eyes?
moment. Here we go. Yep.
Do we have any eyes on Dulce?
No, not yet. We're gonna get Dulce when she comes along this back road that the men just passed through.
Let's see what happens with Angel here, because he's approaching where we thought Ciro went off
Yeah.
course, right?
No, I'm telling
If
you,
that is
he
indeed
goes.
what happened.
He goes through the baseball field.
Oh, yeah, that might be a huge upturn. And then there's such a gap that all three of these gentlemen just may not have been aware of it and didn't bring it up.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I mean?
unfortunately,
There's a gap in between. They can't see each other.
we didn't have eyes on Eugenio at the baseball field.
Oh God!
So right here,
Is that
Ciro
you?
went
Is that
right.
you running with him?
Yeah, I was dying.
You got
Ciro
the-
went right
you got the-
here.
Oh God! I know that feeling.
So I thought I lost him, but then he comes back around. Where's Soto on the bottom? I think they're trying to catch up to him.
That would have been kind of fun to make him go through the bases, right? Make part of the
Yeah,
course. Run
that
the
would be
bases.
cool, yeah.
I would have done that.
Now Soto is heading back into the festival area. He's got Bender before he gets down back into the festival area, but it's all concrete from there. So there he goes. Look at it.
Yeah, and that's where he comes into that gauntlet of obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
There's Bender.
I'm telling you, I think it's a miss. Should have made him run the bases. That would have been cool.
Yeah. Oh, Soto did the face down method. We caught a
Yeah, so
guy
we've
do
seen
that
that
in
recently,
Utah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
We were so surprised
I saw
when we
that
saw
clip.
it.
Yeah, if you can pull it
I didn't-
off, man.
I didn't think we'd
Good
see
for
it
you.
2 races in a row. That's pretty cool. Man,
Monkey
this
see,
is
monkey do, man.
this is disheartening, though. You know, obviously we don't know what call they're going to make after they see this, but it's a shame to you don't want to have to make a call this late
Yeah.
after a race.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have already posted about it. They've celebrated.
Yeah, I mean they've had the award ceremony. There's the 10-foot wall right there, and you can see Angel just went and touched it and did the penalty loop. Penalty loop is pretty small.
Wait,
Seto,
I
he didn't
thought
do it
was tall
either.
enough to get. He's tall enough. These
I don't
guys
know.
are tall enough to get over the 10-foot wall.
I don't know, man.
I'm
10
shorter
foot's
than him, and I
pretty
can do
high. Can you reach a basketball goal?
I can get.
The rim?
I get over the 10-foot wall. I've done it a bunch.
Este es el cierre.
A 10 foot? Can you touch a basketball rim?
Yeah, I've never slam dunk. I think the basketball the rim is taller than 10 feet.
I can touch like
sure
the
it's 10?
net. I can't touch the rim, and the rim's 10 foot.
I've never not made it up above the 10-foot wall at Spartan Race.
I don't think you've ever seen the 10-foot wall at Spartan Race because we don't see it in the U.S. It is
Okay.
way bigger.
I need the research now. That's going to be on my head. Once again, squirrel. Wow, what a cool looking
You can hear the-
facility. Yeah, look at that, man.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd. This is the last gauntlet right here.
Now, I tell you what, this looks like a rope climb you don't want to miss. These are not the normal pads. That's just a lump of hay on some concrete, on some pavement. And do not come falling off that.
Yeah, for sure. We got Angel on the on Twister. Sideways method.
Now, I wonder if we know if Eugenio went the same way that Ciro went. Because we didn't see him
Yeah.
through the baseball park either.
Right, we really just have no idea. I saw a lot of people struggling with this Hercois. Like it looked heavy.
Yeah, I mean...
Look at Ciro, even.
And now,
Nope.
Ciro is not... Oh, wow. No, he's going
He
to take
left
the
it.
penalty.
He said, "No way."
Ciro is not a really large guy, man. He's fast. He's got a killer engine. And he's strong, but he's not like a really big guy. And depending on how heavy those bags are,
I like this. This is the cool penalty loop that I said. They go all the way up those stairs, kind of run around and come back down. It's a good long one for for Hercois.
Oh, cool! They still have the bales of hay for the straw men for the spear throw. I see that there on the right hand side. Man, I'm a bigger fan of that than the smaller target. Now, someone could tell me, "Hey, Miles, skill issue, get good," and they wouldn't be wrong, right? They wouldn't be wrong. But man, I always practice with bales of hay, so I just like seeing that again.
Well, the biggest problem that they've always had with the bales of hay is that they fall apart, and then you stick a spear into it, and it just pops out or falls out or whatever. So it's tricky. But the craziest thing about the Mexican spears is that they are thick and heavy.
Yeah,
they're just like
mentioning that.
Whoa!
At the beginning of the
Ooh, see it?
Nope,
like
another penalty.
He was on it, but it wasn't quite right to stick in there.
You can see him kind of twist his hips there. I'm not surprised that went off. That was not a straight throw. He really twisted his hips in there. That's gonna affect the trajectory. Looking back to see if anyone's on his tail. He's feeling good. He's got this in the bag. It's a pretty long pipe, inverted. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that at too many Spartan races where they take that long of a pipe and invert it like that.
Yeah. He went sideways, which I personally feel is the way to go. I see a lot of people do hand over hand, and I feel like it's really inefficient, and it kind of shifts you around. Like it's hard to stay straight like that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
There he goes. Eugenio's about to get to the rope climb. Check out these tanks in front of the A-frame.
It looks like a harder A-frame right there. Look how loose the net looks. A little looser at the top, so you can't just quite slide down. Usually I feel like it's pretty taut in American races.
I'd say it was pretty loose this race, but possibly because of the Ultra the day before.
Well, I want to celebrate my fellow Masters athlete, but they went off course, man. This could change the whole game. We'll see.
I know it.
Mixed emotions now. It'd be such a shame in the third race in the Mexican National Series to then have a mistake like that happen, I mean, that's a killer time, man. An hour 38. He's too tired to talk. He's trying to ask him questions.
Here's Angel now coming down into the vessel area. Not sure if we can hear what.
Por primera vez, cabrón, bien. Eso, chiva.
We won't repeat those words in English.
Lo lograste, por favor, pasa a la zona de hidratación. Te estoy esperando un Gatorade sin azúcar bien frío.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. We don't know what happened with Eugenio. If he did the same thing, we don't know. I don't think we didn't have any footage of that, correct?
No.
I mean, it might behoove them to just reach out to him and ask him. That's a really cool thing about our sport. These guys are really honest. You know what I mean?
Just missed Eugenio on the multi-rig. Lined up right? No, not quite, I don't think.
Here comes Eugenio crossing in second. I'd like to play around with the numbers and see what the numbers would reflect that if Eugenio and Ciro were disqualified, how the points would affect Angel, because it was pretty much a 3-way tie, if I remember correct. So it's like, it means Angel would be your first place winner if it was actually DQ, but who knows? I'm not a ref. How they might do it, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think all three, or at least Angel and Ciro, went for the same rope. Notice that?
Interesting. Yeah, Eugenio's handedly ahead here. He's coming over the A-frame.
See if Angel gets this up. Angel is not small. He's a pretty strong guy.
And he was like, no, never mind.
Screw that. I'll take the penalty loop. Bear crawling.
Yeah, man, that might be a first place for him if they revert the the placements.
And everyone watching the stream thought they saw the post from the guys on social media and thought they already knew the outcome.
I know it.
What a change of events, man. That's an exciting change of events. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
You'll have to
Very
keep
unfortunate.
Us, stay tuned. Stay tuned to OCR report and keep us up to date, Jason.
For sure. I'm gonna contact the guys tonight, and Angel's got somebody on his tail right there. But I'm gonna contact the guys tonight and see if I can find out, what they're. I mean, we'll talk to the Spanish guys, the Mexican guys, right after this. On the penalty loop. See what they think.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
but as soon as we know something, we will post something about it for sure.
So Angel's gonna try a different straw, man.
And fourth place is up on that penalty loop for the Hercules.
Oh, nice form. Nice form in that throw. Dang it.
Not quite the chunk. It's the throw itself. His steps forward were like a soldier.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he had good form. Hear my dogs making noise in the background. They're wanting to get fed. You guys will get fed in a little bit.
Fourth place, coming up to the spear throw with Angel on the penalty loop. Angel's done with the penalty loop now, though. It was a pretty short one, I think.
And I wonder where fourth and fifth place are in the point series if they did the other races, what that would mean for them. I can't imagine. I don't think they had enough lead that it would change first, second, and third. But
he had a miss as well. Angel's through.
Yeah, the spear throw must be really difficult. I don't think anyone hit it. Yeah,
it's definitely different. Man, I would expect these guys to be used to it, but it's definitely harder than the U.S. ones.
What's really impressive is Cole DeRosa. He is just consistent, always on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one in the age group category that's going to give him a run for his money, and he'll podium for elite. I wouldn't be surprised to just see Cole DeRosa come running up and snatch a podium spot in another country's race like this. Sorry if you hear that heavy breathing. That's the dogs in the background making a lot of noise.
All good. Nice flip there into the loose net.
Dude, this gentleman might be someone. He's fast.
Yeah, we'll have to pay attention when we get to the results at the end, and see where he was on the leaderboard for the series.
I can't
If
wait
he
to
was.
watch him for maybe next year's national series and see what he's doing. He might be a dark horse.
Mm-hmm. So I know one of the other rabbits headed back out to look for the women. So we'll be getting back to Dulce in just a moment, I believe. Actually, I think we've got her. All right.
Is that her right there? No.
She just passed. Oh, it's. You see, you can see the rabbit out in front there. He's with her, and unfortunately, we we ended up that camera wasn't running. He had I think he hit the button without realizing it at some point. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit where we're gonna be waiting for a shot of Dulce. Let me text the Mexican guys, let them know.
Once again, kind of a cool shot of the course. Looks like some single track, beautiful foliage. And once again, Dulce is leading this series. She's made it to all 3 races. I can't see anything possibly getting in her way at this point. Look at that gentleman. He sees the camera. Oh, I gotta pick it back up. I do that. Every time I stop to try and catch my breath and I see the camera, nope, better get back on top of it. Put the pedal back on the gas.
Yeah, look at the steep climb coming up right there.
Yeah, maybe we don't see more power hiking. You really haven't seen any power hiking in any of these hills here in Mexico.
So he's actually waiting for the second place woman. Let's see if we've got some splits for the women.
Props to the rabbit, too. They're in Spanish trying to give directions to everyone.
Yeah. How much time with the women? Yeah, we got some splits from a little ways back.
Yeah, that's a commanding lead, 4 minutes plus.
Yeah. And that was over 15 minutes ago, over 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, and they're well into this race.
Something happened. Did he? His camera's stopping. We got to go back to my camera because his is not. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that he stopped his camera and started it again. So we're gonna. He does catch up with. He does wait for a second place woman, but we gotta wait a couple minutes before we see that. So I'm heading back out to catch up with Dulce. You can see my slow pace. Got all these guys
all over
coming
the
in.
Course. Nobody blames you. I bet those little areas of shade are quite the welcome reprieve from being out in the sun so much. I mean, overall, I guess it was a pretty shaded course, though, right?
Yeah, it was. I didn't feel like I got burnt until later, like at this point when it's just I'm all in this open. Coming back towards the end, we're standing around doing interviews, all that kind of stuff. Like in the woods, I felt good. But
so it feels like this wasn't the equivalent of about 14 miles. How many kilometers did you say that is?
Well, the race is supposed to be 21 kilometers. And I don't know exact like what the distance came out to. Typically, from what I've seen, their races do end up being longer than stated. From the other ones that I went to so far this year. Right? Yeah. Well, old school Spartan fashion. U.S. Spartan's been pretty good about being on the standardized distance.
Yeah, 20 kilometers should be 12.4 miles. So not quite 14, but hey, still good. It's a good ways to run.
And yeah, so you saw my Strava from this race, and I had to delete it. I took a screenshot of it and sent it to you guys because it was like 14 miles, I think, is what I had on my Strava, but it was from me riding on the motorcycle so much on the scooter. I couldn't keep that one. There was a 404 mile in there.
Yeah, you can never beat that time again. Start getting scouted
Shoot, I
by
missed it.
Nike calling you up.
I'm sitting here telling a story, and I missed the. We got the second place woman. Gonna get eyes on her in just a moment.
You got this. You got this. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, this guy gets a cramp. Look at him.
Yeah, you can hear him. He's in pain. Yeah, look, he is easing down. We all know that feeling. Yeah, we all know that feeling. Yeah, that's why the hydration strategy is important, guys. Make sure you have ones you can fend off those cramps ahead of time. That's huge.
Here's Carmen.
There's Carmen.
Going up that climb that he was at a minute ago, I think.
Dale.
A little break. And then she gets right back into it. Way to go. Way to go. That little hill will wear you out. Even a small little hill like that, it will wear you out.
Mm-hmm. Course is just a whole road right here.
Yeah, from here it is all just pavement and a road, right? Right into their facility?
No, they're still so okay. They still have yet to go down that long stretch along the fence.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna be catching up with Dulce somewhere out that way. Oh, he zoomed in and didn't realize. Here, let's just, I guess, switch over. Here's a perfect spot to switch over.
Oh, look at that nice smile. Look at that. You're having a good time of your life. There's Carmen.
Man, I sure hope the U.S. Spartan doesn't see this and get on to the Mexican guys. I know Mexicans a little looser with their laws and rules and stuff.
Well, I mean, the guys were split up, so I don't think anyone knew. This might be the
only... No. I was talking about me riding the scooter without a helmet.
Oh, yeah. There's no OSHA in Mexico. Actually, there probably is. There probably is an OSHA equivalent in Mexico, but you don't sign up for these races for safety regulations.
Carmen is a member of the military school here.
Oh, interesting.
So
okay,
we did
not know that.
We didn't see her in some of the other races, just because this is there's a lot of people that do this particular race just because that's it's there, that's where they're at. So. But again, she's in second. Strong athletes out there. The two rabbits. They came. They're from the school too.
She'd like to take a little walk. She'd like a little break, but you got the rabbit right there with a camera on you. You gotta keep pushing. I hope no one tells her about this long stretch coming up soon.
So we're going on the hunt for Dulce here.
I'd be interested to see if any of the ladies went off the course there, the same location as well.
Right.
Some drainage work being done. There we go.
Yeah, it was a glitch on the feed there for a second. And one thing we don't know here is how far Barbara back is. How far back Barbara is. What was her split? Ways back, she was about a little over 2 minutes at the 11.6K mark.
Yeah.
Behind Carmen. So pretty good gap, but she's back there. So at this point, if there's any mistakes, she's still got a long ways to run here, or she starts slowing down. Barbara's a strong athlete herself, so she's got a chance.
Yep, catching the guys, collecting souls. Get him, Carmen. Get him.
Ooh.
There we go.
Here comes Dulce.
Was it you?
Yeah, that's the one with the camera that unfortunately wasn't recording. But Dulce's passing by.
Second place?
I'm going to catch back up with her. We'll stick with second place until we get back to Dulce. He's taking a walk break here. Uh-oh. What's happened? Did I cut out for a second?
No. You sound good, man. You're still here.
Yeah, she took a little walk break there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, she's getting worn. You're far into the race at this point. It's hot. It's probably hotter outside. She's been in the sun a bunch. It's a long run, man. And that's the thing about these national series. You gotta compete. You want a place. You're gonna have to compete in the races that maybe you wouldn't normally sign up for. I don't like beasts. I don't normally sign up for beasts, but when I want to go do the trifecta, world championship, hey man, you got to do it. I didn't expect to do it well. You go out and you show up and see what you're made of.
But we see her putting her hands on her hips. You know what that's like when you're just so tired. You feel like you got to put your hands somewhere so that they're not you're not having to hold them up.
Yeah.
So she's feeling it.
Sometimes, I mean, you can tell when you start cramping, you hold your arms up above your head like this.
Yeah. Barbara, if she's feeling good at this point, we don't see her, but if she's feeling good, she could be gaining ground.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Dulce run past in that last shot on the long stretch there before, and she was just moving really good, man.
Oh, yeah.
I doubt she was doing any of this walking. I just don't think she's going to be anywhere near catching Dulce at this place and just trying to hang on to second place, which is still huge. Podium spot, something to be proud of. Keep pushing.
That's right. Yeah, Dulce is crushing, though. She really is.
Cool looking old stone wall there. You see, there's another one of those big cactuses that look really neat. It almost looks like an ornament.
Yeah, that old stone wall, it reminds me of Europe's Toughest Mudder. It's like English countryside with all those stone walls all over the place. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's always so iconic to the England's landscape, right? Those old stone walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Robin Hood. That. Yeah. That scene where Kevin Costner's walking on top of the wall there.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
What was the name of that one? Robin Hood, Men in Thieves.
Not Men in Tights. That's the one with Dave Chappelle.
No, yeah. Yeah. Equally good movie.
Still my favorite version.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm on one side of the bridge. Now I'm on the other side. I'm here. Now I'm on the other side. You just walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, before the angle was deceptive. You can't tell. It's not only a long stretch of running; it's also a bit of a hill there. Let's see how Carmen does. You see, that's a technique I've always liked to use. Test the tautness of it before you commit to it. Once you've committed with both feet, you're on it. That's what it is.
Man, the way they got this, if you misstep on that last step, darn.
Oh, no, if she just would have leaped forward, she would have had it.
Yeah.
Bummer, she's got to go
Where's
wait.
What?
Oh, you're allowed to redo it.
No, that is not. No, go take the penalty. There's no redos in
Okay.
Spartan.
He was in a giving mood, man. He gave her a second shot at that. Okay. Okay.
That's a heftier penalty loop than I would have expected for the slack line.
Yeah, that doesn't seem comparable, right? It seems like a longer punishment, especially after having that long run leading up there.
Yeah, in comparison to some of the other ones that we've seen, that did seem more accurate. We're getting pretty close to getting eyes on Dulce. I had somebody shout at me, OCR report somewhere around here at this point. I think he just passed on the other camera.
Oh yeah, no, they know us there. You have us on the shirts, bringing the best coverage and bringing the best coverage in obstacle course racing in the media overall.
They've had some Mexican coverage in the past. I'm curious who did it, because I really don't know.
It would be fun to go back and try and find that out. And, I'll research that as well.
Yeah.
Once again, like I said, it's jogging with the hands on the hips.
I'm still waiting for Dulce here. This field, beautiful field.
Yeah.
I love that they put them in there.
Mexico loves cool. Baseball, man. I'm not surprised. They love their baseball. They love their soccer, football.
So you can see, the rabbit, me pointing. Dulce is running around the outside of the field here at this moment. So she's coming.
Oh, good, through. Nice little angle.
Do we lose? Oh, she's walking back there. Poor rabbit without the phone running. Dulce's still moving though. I mean, that's a little bit downhill, but she moves strong through. She's been moving strong through this whole thing.
Yeah, her form is always consistent, man. She just gets in that zone and she can just coast, put it in coast mode, and just do her thing. She knows she's got a huge gap at this point. There, and bottom right-hand corner there, we see Carmen. She's walking.
She's hurting.
There's a long stretch of running there. And, yeah, there's just no let up from Dulce. Dulce just keeps it up.
So they go around the backside of there, and that's where that 10-foot wall is. So, this is the part where we saw Ciro he didn't come this way. And even as much as the rabbit whistled at him. I'm going to wait for her to come around.
It's starting the less of a hill there. It's starting to flatten out.
She's still got
there's always
a couple miles to go.
This is the point in the race where you're just like, oh God, when is this running going to end? How much further is this? Where's the next obstacle?
Right.
The running never ends.
Yeah, she's hands on hips all over the place.
Also, looking at the choice of footwear there on Carmen, those look like regular running shoes. Those don't look like trail shoes. Then again, like you said, hey, she goes to school here. So she probably knows the terrain and knew that, hey, trail shoes are not necessary. I'd rather have pavement running shoes, which in this race, maybe that was a good call.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of rocky stuff though, and usually those road shoes don't give you much. They don't give you much on those rocks. They kind of hurt. They'll say coming down the hill. Ooh.
Ooh. Little catches himself fast, no big deal.
Still such good form this late into the race too.
Yeah, it's consistent, man. It is to be applauded. Also, really great on our rabbit there. Look at the form on our rabbit. He's been running alongside her. What looks like with great ease.
Only because Dulce has already run, 12 miles.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's me. That's not the other rabbit. No. So what's
You're doing great too. Though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, he's
rabbit in front
cruising.
of him. I'm pretty sure he's starting that runner. So now, do they have lanes here dedicated to the ladies?
Yeah, see on the left the two
Yep.
high
For sure.
high steps.
Okay. Nothing like the sound of Twister. Yeah, with,
Right.
with no music or sound in the background, just when you're out there in the middle of the country on a trail and you hear the creaking of Twister.
Yeah. Did you catch what she did on that first hold? So you remember how we all started using the Brian Atkins technique where your left hand goes backwards so that way the handle rolls into your hand? She's not doing it, but she's still hanging on. But her first grab was her right hand backwards, and then she switched it after that. That was crazy.
Huh. Yeah, that is wild. No, I missed that. Pretty cool. See there, Carmen in the lower right-hand corner, still in the long run section. Some more single track here. Dulce is going to have to go around this gentleman.
Yeah, this gets to be a little section of nasty stuff right here.
Oh, yeah, it was a little slippery. So far, maybe the only time I've seen it very slippery or wet, right? Some more fence running.
Yeah, I was surprised by this section. You know, they're basically right before the last road into the festival area. This was kind of fun running through.
Yeah, look at it. It's beautiful. Look at that green. That lush greenness.
Yeah, it was like long, matted down grass.
I'm trying to get eyes on her footwear there. She looks like she's rocking the Ultras. Those purple ones I've seen, I believe those to be Lone Peaks. But I could be wrong. I know VJ Max has some red ones too, right?
Yeah. And being in Mexico, they could be something completely different.
Yeah.
That we just don't,
sure.
shoe we don't know about. Yeah, still can't quite tell. Now, I was able to keep up with Dulce through that rough terrain, but this flat stuff, she opens up. And I
You
really
can tell,
struggled.
you can hear that she's running with the trail shoes. You can hear that very distinct sound of trail shoes on pavement.
Right.
They're almost like sticky sound, right?
Yeah. I thought I was just gonna have to give up here, just let her go. But she's coming up on Bender. Give me a second to catch up.
Yeah, were you aware Bender's right up ahead?
Yeah. You know, these newer phones are pretty good about the wind noise, but you can still hear it. Obviously, it's not as bad as it is on some of the older phones. But
Yeah.
I
Way
need to
better.
get some. I need to go ahead and put some wind muffs on them. There's little tiny ones that you can put on there. What was Cutterman's last name? I got it.
I don't think it was Vasquez.
Rivera. Carmen Domínguez Rivera.
Rivera.
This is getting to the wrap-up point here. She's heading down into the festival area.
Yeah, 2 hours, 2 minutes, still making great time, man.
Yeah. You know, coming off of Utah, I was expecting another 3.5 hour race and just not really thinking about the hill difference. It really makes a huge difference. You know, she's still got obstacles to go through. Could put her around 220 maybe. But you know, maybe not 220. She's pretty close there. But nowhere near the 330 of Utah. Now, honestly, I don't remember what Lauren Weeks ran in Utah, but she was like 10 minutes faster than the next woman too. So
yeah, that was a big gap.
She
Lauren Weeks is fast, whether it be Deca, High Rocks, Trail. He's a beast in all of it.
Mm.
Well, one thing's for sure, we know she didn't get lost off the track. It's looking like it's safe to say that Dulce Flores will be your first place female and overall winner for the females in the Mexican National Series. I can't imagine her, even if she were to fail every single obstacle from here, she has enough time to cross the finish line. It's just too big of a gap.
Swap views while I'm taking a goo.
Yep, looks like Carmen's going for a goo too.
Come back to Dulce in a second. Dulce or Dulce? Dulce.
Like sweet.
Yeah.
Which is funny because almost when you enunciate it, you almost sound like you're saying dolce, which is the same thing in Italian. Sweet in Italian is dolce.
There's a pretty stretch through there. Let's see. So has she gotten? She hasn't gotten to the baseball field yet, has she?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So yeah, she's a good ways back.
Well, we caught her there. She's walking there. I think she's hitting the wall.
Yeah, she hasn't gone through Twister.
Now I wonder how heavy the women's bags are. Obviously, the men's were absurdly heavy. Let's see how heavy the women's are.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty heavy, man. Who in the world packed the women's bags?
Jeez. I just said "jeez" as I said "jeez" on camera.
Dang, these things are heavy today, huh?
I think second place woman's like.
Now, does anyone hit their spear,
Yeah.
Jason? Seems like everyone has missed that spear, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I saw anybody hit it. I'm sure I had bound to see somebody. Is that the guy with the polo? Can't tell. He would have been done by now.
Yeah, I think that is.
I don't know.
Man.
That could be. It could be.
Polo guy.
There she is at the. Yeah, Eduardo knows him. He says he's a coach.
Okay.
Carmen's in the baseball field now. She still looks strong though.
Oh yeah. Come on, hit the spear throw. I want to see someone hit the spear throw. Okay, opting to take the first one. Okay, cool. There you go. Yep. Proper technique, always throwing the string back over the line so you don't trip on it, doesn't snag your foot. Nope. Nope, not even close.
I think the rope kind of got...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it was the rope kind of got tangled up. Like, you know how when a rope twists, it kind of, like when it comes together, it'll wrap around itself? That's kind of what it looked like it happened.
Could happen. Look, her hand was so far forward on the spear, and she twisted a bunch, and also she sent the trajectory like up. It was...
Yeah, that's true, but it definitely... You could see the cord kind of whip and like pull on it.
You know, good on the Mexican athletes. You notice, like, usually in the States, when most of us miss the spear, there's the loud F word, right? you know it when we miss it because it's just nonstop F bombs. And I think every single Mexican athlete here has just been like, okay, and moved on. And like, and
maybe they're just used to it with those weird heavy spears.
Probably louder than the rest. There you go, nice.
Skipping rings.
Up in the skip rings. Bingo. There we go. Yep, and this is hers. There you go, Dulce Flores. Your 2024 Mexican National Series female winner. Congratulations to Dulce. Felicidades a Dulce. Buen hecho. Y sigue adelante por el próximo año.
Even though she may be the only person that, you know, qualified by doing all three races, if the other two girls would have raced today as strong as she ran, I believe that she would have taken it still.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she just looks strong all day, man. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. She runs all the way in. All the way in.
Congratulations, Dulce. Well done. Strong race. So strong.
Look at that. She has more in the tank, man. Most of us would collapse right there. She's like just like, oh, shake people's hands.
Kipchoge crossing the finish line.
She can talk.
Fuimos ahí peleando muy cerca las tres primeras. Estuvo muy rápido al inicio y después
I couldn't quite hear what she said.
Yeah.
La primera es que ya lo lograste. Muchas felicidades porque ya lo logró. Un aplauso fuerte para ella. Eso. Y la segunda es que mira, nuestros amigos de Arte Portugués.
I love the energy of the gentleman there at the finish line, or announcer.
Para que te relajes ahorita en el estadio, ¿ok? Muchas felicidades, de verdad, lo lograste, gracias. ¿Le dedicaste esta carrera a alguien? Gracias. Un aplauso fuerte.
There we go. We have Carmen in the lower right-hand corner. We got Carmen on. Oh, Twister. She falls off Twister. Bummer. Now, I mean, that is also not your normal Twister, right? At the base distance, you're going to have 3 lengths, 3 sections of the Twister, where in, say, a sprint or a super, it just might be 2 sections. So, and, you know, she's not the tallest athlete, so that could be pretty daunting for her. She's going to take the penalty loop.
So we've got some time before Carmen gets back into the festival area. So we're going to watch the interviews that we've gathered throughout all this.
Okay.
So we're going to show. We're going to make sure the audio is on and ready. Okay, it should work.
It's okay. You hear well? Yeah. Okay. The sound is going to affect your
Here we go.
micro. Pues, Dulce, felicidades por el primer lugar. Cuéntanos, ¿cómo te sentiste en esta carrera en el Heroico Colegio Militar?
Muy bien, estuvo muy ondulada la ruta, me gustó mucho. Había muchas subidas, pero igual recuperabas en la bajada. Al inicio, la verdad, mis compañeras iniciaron con un ritmo muy fuerte. Pensé que les iban a calmar en el segundo kilómetro, pero no estuvieron apretando. No venía confiada, por supuesto, y también se extrañó la presencia de mi compañera Luisa, que no pudo venir. Pero bueno, me gustó mucho la carrera. Tuvo muchos espacios, solamente era carrera, y pues eso igual te va agotando un poco. Y bueno, me gustó.
Y de la salida comparada a Valle de Bravo, ¿cómo la sentiste?
Siento que Valle de Bravo estuvo un poco más plana que esta, pero en cuanto al lugar, a lo mejor Valle de Bravo tiene mucho paisaje, pero lo que me gusta mucho de aquí es que pasamos por todas las instalaciones del colegio y pues es bonito conocerlo.
Y el arranque, ¿cuál fue tu estrategia para lograr el primer lugar?
Pues siempre me coloco hasta enfrente y siempre empiezo de menos a más. Muchas compañeras empezaron muy fuerte, pero pues dejé que se fueran un poco en los primeros 2 kilómetros y después ya empecé a recuperarme yo.
¿Cuál fue el obstáculo que es el más difícil de todos?
What's the most difficult obstacle out there today?
Ahorita no lo pude subir, pusieron la base más abajo y por más que he hecho mi cuerpo para atrás y trato de brincar, no puedo subir el costal.
¿Y cuál se te hizo el obstáculo más sencillo?
El monkey bar. Monkey bar.
The monkey bars was the easiest, and the hardest was the what do you call it? Pulling the sandbag down.
Oh yeah, Hercoist.
Hercoist, yeah.
Pues ahorita mi siguiente competencia me voy a ir al campeonato de OCR en Costa Rica. Ya es en 2 semanas, entonces ahorita sigo entrenando. No he parado de entrenar porque pues lo que viene es mucho más fuerte. Y pues esperamos.
I think she said she has another race in 2 weeks.
Oh.
Sí.
I think that's what she said.
Gracias.
There's a lot of noise in the background.
Gracias.
Yeah.
Me espero, ¿verdad? Para la
Pues, bueno, felicidades, Ángel, por esta carrera. ¿Cómo te sentiste? Cuéntanos.
Me sentí muy bien, la verdad es que fue una carrera muy rápida y la verdad es que me sentí bien en la primera parte. Lamentablemente me caí en el seawall. Traté de recuperarme, pero me costó un poquito, entonces ya la última parte pero al final todo bien. Nada que no hubiese pasado antes.
¿Y cómo te sentiste que a la final fuera en este lugar, ¿no? en el Heroico Colegio Militar?
Pues siempre es una emoción extra el hecho de estar aquí en el Colegio Militar. No
How does
sé
he
por
feel
qué, yo
about
creo
being
que
in the
me
last
pone
race?
demasiado,
Saying
la
it's
verdad,
always an emotional
y
being in the last
por el
race
ejército
of
mexicano
the
y todo ese
series.
tipo de cosas. La verdad se siente mucha presión. No sé cómo lo tomó
Because there's a lot of
Ciro,
pressure.
que él básicamente es del ejército, pero yo siento que él tiene más presión que nosotros. Pero yo encantado, la verdad me encanta la sede. Ya llevo 3 años creo que se hacen aquí, entonces muy bien.
Y bueno, hablando de Ciro, ¿en algún momento de la carrera sentiste que lo podías alcanzar? ¿O sentiste que él tuvo toda la confianza por esta sede y no había forma de ganarlo?
Sabíamos que era una carrera rápida, de mucha estrategia de carrera y muchos terrenos corribles. Íbamos, lo alcancé de hecho en el kilómetro 5 más o menos. Me pasé a la punta, después me rebasé antes de la pista del combatiente y posterior me caí en el seawall y ya no lo pude alcanzar. Pero yo no sé qué hubiera pasado si no me hubiese caído.
He's saying when he fell off the Z-wall, he knew he's not going to win.
¿Te hizo el obstáculo más difícil, el que te caíste?
Yo creo que el Hércules sí está demasiado pesado ya después de todo el desgaste físico que traes, el desgaste mental.
Yeah, saying how heavy the Turquoise is.
Ya sientes muy feo, los calambres, entonces ya no sabes qué hacer. Y la verdad fue el más difícil que...
Y digamos de los castigos que hubo, ¿cuál es el
I mean, none of the guys were getting the Turquoise, man. It might just, this is not what he's saying, this is me now. The Turquoise just might be too heavy.
O si hay burpees, la verdad es que las carreras prácticamente están perdidas, porque no tienes tiempo de recuperarte. Los penalty loops, pues hay algunos que son muy cortos, que te pueden beneficiar cuando fallas y no sé, alguien va cerca de ti, y cuando son burpees, la verdad es que ya no te recuperas. O sea, prefiero los penalty loops, pero quisiera que fueran un poquito como que más acordes al obstáculo. ¿Sí me entiendes? Sí. Pongamos la barda o aquí el Hércules, que no fuera tan corto, sino que fuera un poquito más largo, o algo extra, algo pesado, algo así.
¿Y cuál fue el obstáculo que más disfrutaste hacer?
Que más disfruté. No, pues yo creo que pasar abajo de las camionetas, porque ya había llegado, dije, ya quiero llegar, y fue el que más disfruté.
Okay, the funnest was going underneath the Jeeps at the end.
¿Te afectó? ¿Te ayudó para esa carrera?
Yo la verdad soy un poquito malo para el calor, sin embargo, digo, todos tenemos el mismo clima, bueno, a excepción de los que corren a las 10, 11 de la noche, de la noche del día, pero la verdad, digo, no me quejo. Sí sufrí un poco, pero no me quejo. Ya hidratándonos bien, estoy bien.
Y bueno, para lo que sigue, ¿cómo piensas prepararte?
Pues ahorita las carreras convencionales, las que vienen, digo, ya la temporada de México prácticamente ya acabó con el serial. Mi objetivo ahorita es ir a Grecia y empezar a prepararme desde ya. O sea, es en noviembre. Y
he's preparing for the Greek trip at the weekend.
Entonces, a entrenar todavía un
Oh, wow.
fuerte.
Very cool.
Perfecto, pues mucho éxito y
gracias por la
I think that's what he said.
Gracias.
Greece is Grecia, and talking about it's in November. Oh, there's Eugenio Godinez.
Felicidades por haber ganado. Cuéntanos, ¿cómo te sentiste en la carrera?
Pues fue una carrera muy horrible, bastante ondulado, se prestaba mucho el terreno para meter
Totally forgot that I had.
Pues bien, todo bien, marcaje, obstáculos, todo
I did this right.
Lo único,
Let's see.
bueno,
It's covered up. Dang it.
La única desventaja que yo tuve en esta ocasión pues fueron las penalizaciones.
Need them to be full screen
Fueron
to do
penalizaciones
that.
muy fáciles, en donde la realidad es de que, por ejemplo, ejecutar una barda de 3 metros, ejecutar un Hércules pesado, no compensa la penalización que estuvimos realizando en esta ocasión. Entonces, pues para mí en lo personal, como que siento que ahí fue mi desventaja, incluso pues para muchos, ¿no? Para muchos de los que somos más fuertes, como que esa parte de la penalización es nuestra desventaja en esta ocasión. Les comentaba a mis compañeros, y ellos lo saben, ¿no? Donde, por ejemplo, Ángel, que falló ahí el muro Z, si hubieran puesto burpees, pues todavía lo hubiéramos pues dejado un poquito más a lo mejor. Luego en la barda, por ejemplo, él es muy bueno en la barda, siempre la pasa. Y esta ocasión, pues es lo que dice, no, la verdad nada más la intenté y me voté por la penalización. El Hércules, lo mismo, intenté el Hércules, lo sentí muy agresivo, pues voté por la penalización. Entonces, la realidad es de que esta carrera hoy fue más como que correr, más que obstáculos. Fue más carrera que obstáculos, la verdad. Pero pues de ahí en fuera, pues todo estuvo bien.
Y digamos, hablando de penalizaciones, entonces, ¿tú serías más de los rumpies?
Pues de los burpees, o al menos una penalización que compense el esfuerzo y tiempo a la hora de ejecutar un obstáculo. Por ejemplo, vamos a un Hércules como el de ahorita, un Hércules pesado, pues te quita un tiempo de 1 minuto, y la penalización ahorita fue una penalización de 20 segundos, 30 segundos. Entonces, pues por estrategia, como elite, por estrategia, pues dices, intento el Hércules, lo siento muy agresivo, pues me voy a la penalización. La barda, por ejemplo, en ocasiones anteriores yo la he intentado hasta 3, 4 veces, el cual me resta el tiempo, y esta ocasión vi la penalización como de 100 metros. Intenté brincar, dije no, pues ya era en el kilómetro 18, pues obviamente la fuerza es menor. Entonces, la intenté, dije no, mejor voto por la penalización, y ya. Y pues mis compañeros hicieron lo mismo, Ciro, Ángel, y yo creo que todos. Porque la barda pues es una barda de que debes de intentarla unas 3 veces, porque como vas cansado, pues no es como que luego a la primera. Hay ocasiones en las que sí, pero te la ponen antes, en 1 kilómetro 4, en 1 kilómetro 5, pero no en 1 kilómetro 18, ya no tienes esa fuerza, esa resistencia para atacarla. Pues te menciono el Hércules, la lanza, la penalización de la lanza igual estuvo muy rápido. Entonces, si hubieran cambiado ahí sus penalizaciones, a lo mejor hacer un recorrido pues más largo, incluso ha habido ocasiones donde le meten peso, pues eso suma tiempo, suma esfuerzo, entonces compensa y se mueve todo, los lugares se mueven todo, porque
Carmen,
es como les digo, en Valle, ve cómo íbamos jugando los lugares, ¿no? Inicia Ciro, después Ángel, y termino ganando yo. ¿Pero por qué? Por las penalizaciones que cambian, ¿no? Y esta carrera de eso se trata, de los obstáculos, en donde que nada está seguro. Cualquier error te saca del podio, te juega el lugar. Y en esta ocasión, pues, era obvio que el que corriera más iba a ganar. Y pues sí,
put the string on the other side.
Y pues, le tocaba.
That was a good throw. It was just to the
Que
side.
la final haya sido aquí. ¿Tú cómo te sentiste? Porque también llegaste a sentir que por ser en el Heroico
That might have been one of the better throws we've seen.
podía sentirse como más en casa.
Absolutely. Just too far to the right.
Pues más que confiado, yo siento que es más presión, ¿no? Es como que se siente el más presionado, pero la realidad es que yo desconozco si él tenga acceso a entrenar aquí. Si tuviera el acceso, pues obviamente él sí sabe.
I think this woman's on the sprint.
Entonces son puntos que podrían beneficiarle a él. Pero pues.
That's why we're seeing a lot of other
para
athletes.
eso entrenamos, pues, para cualquier ruta que nos pongan. Te digo, en esta
Like you mentioned earlier, it's a trifecta weekend.
Pues fueron las penalizaciones que
Carmen's not a very tall athlete. I wonder if she has any problems on the rig. I don't think she will.
Ciro no hubiera tomado esa ventaja tan grande que me tomó al final.
This guy.
Y que al final haya sido aquí en el Colegio, ¿cómo lo sentiste?
Muy padre, pues ya van 3 años aquí. Este es su 3er año y pues ha estado muy padre. La verdad es que es un evento muy bueno, muy
She looks strong on it.
Pues ves muchas cosas.
Very cool and calm, controlled.
Los carros, los tanques. En la ruta me tocó ver, el año pasado no me había tocado ver sus áreas de caballos, sus áreas de sus perros, todo. Muy padre, es otro panorama, ¿no? Al que estamos acostumbrados a correr.
That would not be fun.
¿Y sientes que la ruta ha cambiado en comparación?
And I imagine a lot of people probably did hit the water, and it's so slippery right there at the very end, right? It'd be really easy to slip off.
Sí, hubo. Sí, fue como que hubo partes en donde las invirtieron, donde subíamos el año pasado, ahora bajamos. Y así. Estuvo buena, estuvo muy bien la ruta, muy corrible, muy.
There you go. It almost looks like the right side of that cargo net is more taut than the left.
Y digamos de los obstáculos.
And she's making quick work. Passing everyone. She's excited. She's passing everyone on the cargo net. Maybe the fastest she's attacked any of the obstacles. She wants to get across that finish line.
El slackline porque era un obstáculo que me ha estado dando dolor de cabeza porque nunca lo había pasado y pues ahora me agradó porque sí lo logré pasar, ¿no? Entonces, pues yo creo que sería ese, lo superé esta ocasión.
¿Y cuál sería tu siguiente carrera?
There you go. She is happy. That's it. She's going to finish strong. That's no Carmen. There's your second place elite female for the third race in the 2024 Mexican National Series.
Pues que te siga yendo bien en Acapulco.
Gracias. Allá nos vemos en Acapulco y pues es diferente a ver cómo toca.
Not sure if we're going to get eyes on Barbara. We'll wait and see.
Te digo, esta ocasión, pues Ciro, la verdad es que
Yeah, I don't think anyone's out in the field with her. I don't think anyone has eyes on her. Haven't really seen her at all.
Con las penalizaciones que iba, hubiera sido otra historia, pero pues ya sin llorar, dice un compañero. ¿Va? Te sientas. Aru, compañeros.
Oh, we're getting some.
Oh, there's Ciro in his fatigues.
There's Barbara. The camera cut so that her time's not accurate right here, but she made it in. I don't think she was too far behind.
Yeah, it looked like
Maybe a couple minutes still.
Del ejército, de las unidades militares que conforman todo el ejército y pues gracias a Dios pues, se logró y aquí estamos.
¿Cómo te sentiste en la carrera?
Me sentí muy cómodo en la carrera, muy cómodo.
All right, we're going to switch over and finish out these interviews.
Ciro is so humble and very calm. He's not a man of many words. He's saying, yeah, thanks to God, I did it. I felt okay. No big deal. I just won the race handily.
Pues la estrategia que yo hice fue esa, nada más irme atrás de los punteros y en los obstáculos que a mí se me hacen difíciles, tratar de sacarles 30, 40 segundos. Pero pues no, se me pegaron, nada más hasta el kilómetro 5, 4, creo. Ya de ahí pues ya no tuve necesidad de jalar, pues.
¿Cuál fue el obstáculo que más te gustó?
¿Qué más
me gustó?
Ajá.
Pues a mí me gusta el multirrig, el aquatic, aquí siempre ese obstáculo pues, me ha gustado, me parece divertido,
¿Y cuál es el que se te hizo?
I missed it. Which he said? Which one he said is his favorite or funnest?
Pues a mí siempre se me ha hecho difícil el Hércules. Es el peso que.
Yeah, the Herculean hoist he said is the most difficult.
No, sí lo he subido, pero me cuesta muchísimo.
De los castigos, ¿cuál es el que menos te gusta? Están los penalty loops y está los brumbies.
Pues yo creo que es equitativo en partes porque, por ejemplo, yo corro, pero no soy bueno en obstáculos. Y los chavos con los que siempre me agarro, pues son muy buenos en obstáculos, pero no corren. Entonces ahorita pues hubo puro penalty, los obstáculos que fallé pues era de correr, o sea, es lo que a mí me gusta, correr y es donde mejor me desempeño. Me gusta más, a mí en lo personal
Y digamos, el clima de hoy, ¿sientes que te favoreció o pudo como bajarte el ritmo?
No, el clima estuvo bien, la altura que tenemos aquí es más o menos a la altura donde yo radico y pues estoy acostumbrado a esta altura, entonces no me costó el clima, no me afectó nada, la verdad.
Used to the weather.
Y bueno, ¿cómo te piensas preparar para las siguientes carreras?
Pues voy a trabajar un poco más de técnica de obstáculos porque es donde siempre ellos me ganan. Cuando vienen bien, ahí me ganan.
He's going to do to prepare for future races. He's going to try and work on more technical obstacles.
Técnica de obstáculos y continuar en lo que es la carrera, que es lo que siempre me ha hecho a mí el paro en las competencias.
Perfecto, pues muchas gracias por tu tiempo y mucho éxito.
Vamos a ustedes, muchas gracias.
Pues bueno, felicidades por haber ganado.
Carmen, all cleaned up.
Cuéntanos, ¿cómo te sentiste en la carrera?
Pues fue muy retadora, pues sí se me complicó porque pues el terreno, luego ha estado lloviendo, pero pues sí pudimos entrar a podio, pero fue muy retadora la carrera, un poco complicada.
De todos los obstáculos que hubo, ¿cuál fue el que más te gustó?
¿Cuál me gustó más? Es que no recuerdo el nombre del, perdón.
Just forgetting the name. Favorite obstacle.
El costal, el que siempre vamos cargando y damos el recorrido en el casco. Fue ese. Sí.
¿Y el que menos te gustó? ¿El que sientes el más complicado?
I think she
El
said the
más
sandbag
complicado
carry is her favorite.
fue el... No, pues de ahí todos no se me complicaron mucho, pero sí fue el que más, fue el costal ya por el peso, el cansancio de las piernas, ya fue más, me cansó más. Así.
¿Y cómo te sentiste que esta carrera haya sido aquí en el Heroico Colegio Militar?
Pues muy orgullosa, como miembro del ejército, pues muy orgullosa de que la gente venga y
She's
conozca
proud to represent the Army.
cómo se preparan nuestros futuros oficiales. Muy contenta, porque les abrimos la puerta a toda la población en general que vengan a disfrutar acá, que vean cómo conozcan
Really
nuestras
proud to represent the military, and this opens the door
que
to the
vengan
public.
a conocer un poco más de nosotros.
¿Habías corrido en Puebla o en Valle de Bravo?
Sí, en Puebla y en Valle de Bravo, sí.
¿Y en qué lugar quedaste en esos Spartans?
Recuerdo que en
How she
segundo
did in the
lugar
other two
de la
races.
categoría Age Group de mi categoría de edad, de 25 a 30 años.
¿Y cómo te preparaste para este Spartan?
Pues es que nuestro entrenamiento es constante como miembro de
How she trained for
un
this.
cuerpo especial, pues es constante, es parte de nuestro adiestramiento.
I think she said it's part of their normal training.
¿Cuál sería tu siguiente carrera y cómo te irías preparando para ella?
Pues sería Acapulco, que es el próximo. Pues normal con nuestras
You got a
actividades.
race in Acapulco next.
Como le comentaba, ya pues, es nuestro día a día. Nosotros nos preparamos como miembros del ejército para nuestras diferentes funciones. Sí.
¿Y el clima sientes que te ayudó o te afectó un poco el rendimiento en esta
That's
carrera?
how the weather
No,
was
siento
the race.
que es no me afectó porque pues estamos aclimatados en diferentes tipos de clima. O sea, no.
He said the weather didn't much affect her.
Perfecto, pues muchas gracias por tu tiempo y
Sí.
pues mucho éxito en tu siguiente carrera.
Gracias.
Pues bueno, felicidades porque pues ganaste en este Spartan. ¿Cómo te sentiste en la carrera?
La verdad fue muy desafiante, sobre todo por la distancia de kilómetros. Ya después del 12, 14 kilómetros ya uno viene muy cansado. Entonces ya a veces, aunque los obstáculos no sean tan difíciles, ya el cansancio físico te lo hace más complicado. Y digo, también fue una elección de ruta muy dura, sobre todo los primeros 5 kilómetros. Sí hubo muchas cuestas. Ya después fue un poco más planita, pero sí, muy buena ruta, muy desafiante, la verdad.
¿Cuál fue el obstáculo que más te gustó de este Spartan?
Pues la verdad, a mí el que más me gusta es el de los aros.
El último donde está.
Sí. El multiring, creo.
¿Y cuál es el que menos te gustó?
Los que menos me gustan.
She likes the rig the
Por
best.
ahí dicen que el Hércules, porque algo pasó en la carrera pasada, pero la verdad creo que los que menos me gustan son los de equilibrio.
Okay.
Siempre me caí en los dos.
Y digamos de los castigos, ¿cuál es?
She's talking about she constantly falls and you catch the first part.
Pues a mí no me han tocado los burpees. Como yo soy una persona un poco más fuerte, no tanto de carrera, me gustaría más los burpees, pero ahora sí que hay que agatarnos a los penaltis.
She's stronger, that's why she likes the burpees.
Este Spartan, ¿tienes un equipo? ¿Entrenas de manera individual?
No, entreno de manera individual, ahora sí que soy mi propio ratón de laboratorio. Y mis primeros 21 kilómetros fueron apenas en el medio maratón de la Ciudad de México, y estos son mis segundos 21 kilómetros. Entonces, ahora sí que es prueba y error, y en esas estoy.
¿Y este sería entonces tu segundo Spartan en el que participas?
Sería el tercero, porque también fui Puebla, Valle y este.
¿Y de los tres, cuál es el que más te ha gustado?
Which of the three races did she like the best?
Puebla estuvo muy dura la ruta, o sea, creo que pocas veces he terminado físicamente así de cansada. Y Valle de Bravo yo me sentí divina, nada más que ahí hubo una cosita con las reglas, pero creo que sí, Valle de Bravo. O sea, me encanta mucho el bosque.
You
Soy
think
yo
Valle
de
de Bravo was your
o sea,
favorite
yo soy de ahí.
of the
Por
3
más soy de ahí,
races?
pero me siento muy cómoda.
¿Y el clima te ayudó o te afectó en tu carrera hoy?
Fue irrelevante, porque no sentí ni mucho calor ni frío. Ahora sí que estaba como muy híbrido.
The
De
weather
repente
didn't
tenías
affect her
bosque, de
much
repente
either.
tenías pavimento, entonces fue como, estuvo bien.
Okay, pues, y bueno, ¿cuál va a ser tu siguiente carrera?
Habría que revisar el calendario, pero pues yo voy a seguir compitiendo aquí en Spartan. Entonces, esto apenas es el inicio.
Listo, pues.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias y suerte.
Chao.
All right.
All right.
Welcome to, if you made it this far in, welcome back. That was quite a course that that beast was just even though it wasn't a mountain, it still seemed like it was pretty brutal. Like it beat up, especially like Carmen really showed it, and even some of the guys, were having, not Ciro so much. He just blasted through the whole thing. But of course, we still need to talk about what happened with him at the baseball field.
So we're kind of just now seeing this, right? Like this really puts a wrench in the gears. This really changes everything. And even at time of recording right now, hey, we don't know how this is going to affect everything. This might totally change the rankings in the entire series because there's basically a 3-way tie for points at the beginning of this race, the third of 3 in the Mexican National Series, right?
That's right. So looking at if it takes him off of, if it gives him a DQ, that's going to possibly put, 4th or 5th. I'm not sure how the numbers work out, but somebody else could potentially jump ahead of him onto the podium for the series. So we're going to definitely dig in and find out. We're going to talk to the Mexican team, see what they, I don't know if anybody knew this. Like, obviously the rabbit knew, but did he think to tell any of the other people, the Spartan team? I don't know. So we're going to find out, though.
And the competitors, the athletes, they didn't really see each other. There was such a gap in a way and such that they didn't see each other. So this might be the only evidence we have of it. And we'll see how that unfolds. I'm also curious to see how the women's rankings change, seeing how 2 of the ladies have been doing the best there and consistently podium, like Eloisa, wasn't able to make this race. So I'm interested to see how that throws off the points too. So we still have more to come.
I'm pretty positive that means that Dulce is the only one in the series officially, because you have to do all 3, and she's the only one that made all 3.
Well,
unfortunate,
I wonder,
but
do you think it's possible there's other ladies that we didn't show standings below 6th place that maybe did all 3? I wonder if they get enough points, if that will put them on the rankings somewhere, right? Is that a possibility?
No, it was only those 3 ladies that had done the first 2 races, so there was nobody else that was even could have been qualified for it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So
then.
we saw this with the U.S. age group. There was several age groups that had nobody at all that did all 3 races,
or one person.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the you got one more thing to add?
No, it's okay. Go ahead, please.
We're going to take a look at the unofficial results here. This is the times as we saw them, not including what happened with Ciro. We're going to be digging into that and find out from the Spartan team what they're going to do. But we see here, Ciro finished with a 3-minute lead, and then Angel was behind Eugenio with another 3 minutes back. So that gap opened up even more across those last few miles. After that, we can see, go ahead.
What's really interesting there is that look at these gaps between the guys. These are pretty significant gaps that we haven't witnessed in the first and second races in the National Series. And granted, I guess it's to be expected. It's a longer race. But even then, I really thought these guys would be closer together.
So we were talking about the gentleman that was behind Angel, and there is nobody on this that's behind Angel. So I thought he had a red headband, but he must not have. He must have been a sprint guy.
Yeah, just could have been on the sprint.
Yep.
Possibly because there's a big gap in between third and fourth there. Significant that just doesn't line up with that time frame. Unless he went off course too. If Ciro or other people could have went off course, who's to say other people didn't, right? It's always in the cards.
Right. And for the women, we had 6 women that was registered in the Pro Wave. Dulce in the front with a 16-minute lead over Carmen, and Barbara only 2 minutes behind Carmen. So she must have still ran strong. Like, Carmen was probably running pretty strong in the early parts of the race, and obviously she faded a bit, but I would love to see if we could have had more eyes on Barbara to see, did she fade or was she strong throughout?
Yeah, and I want to say we saw Paula run one of the other races there in the National Series, but there is quite a gap there. Dulce just dominating the field, plain and simple.
Yeah. Strong.
Congratulations to her.
Amazing. All right. That is going to do it for us. We're going to make sure that our Mexican team is ready to call it out.
Really excited.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Really excited to see how the National Series goes next year, and whether it be 3 years. And I noticed that year after year, kind of whether how many races are included changes. I'll be fascinated to see if they changed that strategy of just having 3 races in the series, or if that worked out better than in previous years. So
I heavily expect to see a change for next year. Potentially, like I said, potentially some national, regional races within the U.S. That's something that's on the table. They might go back to just a regional series, so North American series, as opposed to U.S. and each place having its own national series. I don't know yet. We'll find out in the coming months here. Should expect to see that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Can't wait. Stay tuned. We'll be talking more about it on the channel. And yeah, thank you for having me. A great time. What a beautiful country and wonderful people. So cool to see our sport in another part of the world. And what an honor to be able to commentate and bring it to everyone.
Thank you so much for joining me, Miles, as always. Thank you so much to Wampa and Javier that commentated on our Mexican feed. You can go watch that on YouTube and see how they did and see the couple of mistakes that I made along the way. But for the most part, it was cleaner broadcast than the last one, that's for sure. Getting, learning, getting better every time.
All right.
I'm waiting to see if these dudes are ready to wrap it up. They're still chatting. What else can we chat about while we're waiting for them? How's this background?
Yeah, I like it. A little distracting. When the commercials,
too much.
It was like a shampoo commercial or something like that. It was like I was kind of distracted. But once again, we reestablished my ADHD. Right, you throw off. You and me saw a little trampoline, and it's squirrel.
Yeah. Thankfully the audience didn't see the shampoo commercials during that.
It's just really cool to get to see the other races all around the world. I look forward. If you guys don't know, here in the OCR report, we've also been covering the Canadian National Series. I haven't been commentating on it, but the guys have been doing a great job. We're following that. We're following the American National Series, following just a plethora of different races that you'll be interested to follow and kind of see those beautiful vistas.
Yeah, that's coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to call it out here. Thank you, everybody, so much. We'll see you next time in Kelowna.